And blocked down in front, rebound scores! Evan Oakley, here's Farmer on a breakaway, Farmer scores! Short-handed break, Benzine in on Zevnik. Oh, and a great left pad save there. Shot deflected, they score! Cullen stops short-handed.
You're listening to Wildcats Hockey, presented by Armored Roofing on the Wildcats Broadcast Network.
Good evening to you from the Ector County Coliseum. It's time for Wildcats Hockey, presented by Armored Roofing. Hello and welcome to the broadcast, everybody. Ben Horner coming to you from West Texas here on FastHockey.com and the Wildcats Broadcast Network for this Tuesday tilt between your Wichita Falls Wildcats and the Odessa Jackalopes. It's the last meeting of the season between these two teams, and the Wildcats have already wrapped up the season series with a 5-2-0 mark against Odessa this season, but that is not to say that this game is going to be straightforward. As we've seen this year, all 7 of these meetings have been anything but for the Wildcats and the Jackalopes this season. Let's set the stage before we get any further. The Wildcats entering tonight's action, having won in overtime last Saturday in Topeka, a exciting, thrilling win. The Wildcats held a 2-1 lead late into that third period before an individual effort from Daniel Urzowski sent the game to overtime as he scored with just over 2 minutes remaining in the contest. The Wildcats were not to be deterred, and they were not to be denied the 2 points as they came away in overtime with the win, a minute and 3 seconds in, as Jake Townsend went bar down on a 3-on-1 with Austin Bolio from the left wing side, centering for the defenseman Townsend to get his 12th of the year, which set a new record for goals in a single season by a Wildcats defenseman. We'll have more time for the niceties in just a moment, but the Wildcats, as a result of that win, come into tonight's contest with a record of 33, 13, and 2. They are 12-8-1 as the road team in games and are 30-12-2 in the South Division. Their opponents tonight, the Odessa Jackalopes, are 9-34-7. They are 6-12-4 here at the Ector County Coliseum. They've dubbed it the Jack Shack, and they are 8-32-7 in the South Division play. For the Wildcats, tonight marks game number 49, but moreover for Wichita Falls, it marks one of their 3 games in hand on the Topeka Roadrunners and the Lone Star Brahmas. And entering play tonight, the Wildcats have already secured a playoff berth in the 2015 Robertson Cup playoffs, but they are still in hot pursuit of one of those top 2 spots in the South Division. The Wildcats enter tonight's game on 68 points in third place. That's 5 points back of Lone Star in second place, and that is 7 points back of the Roadrunners in first place. But the Wildcats do have those 3 games in hand that we've been talking about for much of the last month and a half to 2 months, really since the calendar turned from 2014 to 2015. The Wildcats, if they're going to make any noise in that race for the top 2 spots, need to come away with wins in those games in hand. We remind you that one of those games in hand is that game against Rio Grande Valley that is yet to be completed. The Wildcats have a 3-0 lead with just over 26 minutes of game time remaining in that contest. That game will be made up prior to the Wildcats game against the Killer Bees on Thursday, March the 19th. Exact details on the how and the timing details are yet to be hammered out. Once we have that information, we will make it available to Wildcats fans, but suffice it to say that that is a nice way to have a game in hand with a built-in 3-0 lead. But tonight is the first of 3 games in hand, and the Wildcats would love to come away with 2 points against the Jackalopes team that, despite the fact, as I alluded to earlier in the open, despite the fact that Wichita Falls has a 5-2-0 record against the Jackalopes this season, these games have been anything but easy for Wichita Falls. The Jackalopes have been a thorn in the Wildcats' side all season long, starting with the season opening defeat 4-3 at the K. Yeager Coliseum back on September the 13th, and since then, Odessa has made it no easier on the Wildcats. Don't be fooled by some of these score lines, 5-2 and 8-5. Sure, it seemed like it was easy going for the Wildcats, but the Jackalopes in those contests scored late goals like that 5-2 game to give the Wildcats something to think about. In that 8-5 game, the Wildcats had a 2-0 lead, that being back in October, on October the 17th at the KYC. The Wildcats had a 2-0 lead. They then trailed 3-2. They were then up. They were then down again before finally pulling away with an 8-5 win for the Wildcats. And indeed, who can forget that 5-0 lead that disappeared and turned into a 5-4 nail-biter here at the Ector County Coliseum back on November the 29th. But really, for Odessa, since that game, things have not been going very well for the Jackalopes. Since they beat the Wildcats 4-2 on November the 28th, the the Jackalopes have just 3 wins in that span. That has been much of the problem for Odessa this year. They have spent a large amount of time on the road, and that has not been a friend to the Jackalopes this year. They'll close out with a very road-heavy slate, and they'll get it started tonight. And for the Wildcats, they're going to be going against one of the more potent offenses in the North American Hockey League. The Jackalopes roster boasts one of the best players all around in the North American Hockey League, and Kenny Hausinger. Hausinger, wearing number 9 in his first year of junior hockey out of Anchorage, Alaska, coming to the Jackalopes out of the Skipjacks U18 program, has 54 points on the year. That is good for 7th in the league, and he has been an absolute Wildcat killer this season. 4 goals and 7 assists for 11 games played, or for 11 points in 7 games played, I should say, for Mr. Kenny Hausinger against the Wildcats. He recently competed at the North American Hockey League's Top Prospects Tournament for the Null Selects team. Turned some heads up there as he did so. The other guy who has really burned the Wildcats this year are Rasmus Waxen-Enbach and Derek Brown. Waxen-Enbach, 37 points on the year for the second-year Swede, whereas Derek Brown, over 40 points, 41 points on the year for Brown out of Peoria, Arizona. He's in his second season with the Jackalopes and earned himself a commitment to Niagara University. Brown against Wichita Falls on the year, 9 points on 5 goals and 4 assists in 5 games played. Waxen-Enbach against the Wildcats this year, he has 5 points on 7 games played. And another guy to look out for in the white sweater of Odessa is going to be Hampus Shodal. Shodal with 8 points on 4 goals and 4 assists against the Wildcats this year, as one of those coming in a shorthanded tally against Wichita Falls. Let's turn our attention now to the starting lineups brought to you by Pelican's Restaurant. We'll start with the Odessa Jackalopes, and we'll start with the forwards. On the left side, it'll be the aforementioned Derek Brown, wearing number 13. Brown stands at 5'10", 175 pounds, out of Peoria, Arizona. The 96th birth year on the season, has 18 goals, team leading 18 goals, 23 assists, and 41 points on this season. He is committed to Niagara University. Centering will be Zach Zeck, who was acquired from the Johnstown Tomahawks this year. He's played in 6 games for Odessa thus far and has 2 assists. On the year, he's got 18 points on 5 goals and 13 assists in 39 games played. On the right wing will be number 12, Ryan McKellar, 5'10", 183 pounds, out of Indianapolis, Indiana. McKellar on the season, as he wears number 12, has 8 points on 3 goals and 5 assists in 41 games played. On the blue line for the Jackalopes, and there are 8 of them to pick from, as there's 10 forwards and 8 defensemen on the team sheet for the Jackalopes tonight. On the left side will be number 2, Nate Werhane, 6 foot 200 pounds, out of Arvada, Colorado. Most recently of the Colorado Rough Riders of the WSHL. Werhane is playing in game number 9 with Odessa this season, and 17 overall. He has yet to record a point in the North American Hockey League. On the right side of the blue line, it'll be number 4, Dakota Menslodge. Menslodge, out of Orleans, Massachusetts, stands at 6'3", 205 pounds. The right-handed shooting defenseman has 5 points in 5 games with the Jackalopes on a goal and 4 assists on the year. He's played in 40 games and has 19 points on 6 goals and 13 assists. And starting in net will be Robin Johansson, wearing number 35, at a Ljungby, Sweden, 6'2", 185 pounds. Johansson on the year, 5'11", and 3, with a 4.16 goals against average and an .877 save percentage. Those are the starting lineups for the Jackalopes. Head coaches Greg Gatto, assistant coaches Cody Campbell and Sean Chambers. Now for the starting lineups for your Wichita Falls Wildcats, and again we start on the left wing. It'll be Austin Bolio, wearing number 18, 5'9", 170 pounds, out of Coral Springs, Florida, for Mr. Bolio. Committed to Alabama Huntsville for 16-17. Austin Bolio has 44 points on the year on 19 goals and 25 assists. He's played in all 48 games played thus far. Centering will be Colin Staub, who leads the team with 48 points on the season, standing at 6'1", 195 pounds, hailing from Colorado Springs, Colorado. Staub has 19 goals and 29 assists on the season. He will head to the Air Force Academy next year. On the right wing is Nikita Litviak, wearing number 25, out of Moscow, Russia. He's got 9 goals on the year. 5 of them have been against these Jackalopes, though. He's got 24 points total, with 15 assists to his credit as well. On the blue line for the Wildcats, Matt Cook will be on the left side of the point, wearing number 7, 6'1", 195 pounds. Out of Hastings, Minnesota, Cook is committed to the Air Force Academy. He's the second highest scoring defenseman in the league with 43 points on 6 goals and 37 assists. Pairing with Mr. Cook will be Cam Knight, 6'1", 190 pounds. Out of North Reading, Massachusetts, the 95 birth year, has 31 points on the season on 9 goals and 22 assists in 48 games played. He is committed to Alabama Huntsville for 15-16. And starting in net for the Wildcats, Austin Shaw will get the call once more, his third straight start. 6'4", 205 pounds, out of Highlands Ranch, Colorado. Shaw is committed to Princeton University for 2015-16. On the year, he is 27-1. Check that, make that 21-7-1 with a 2.97 goals against average and an 8.98 save percentage. Head coach of the Wildcats is John LaFontaine in his first season. In his second season, Chris Saransky is the assistant coach. That'll do it for the starting lineups, brought to you by Pelican's Restaurant, located at 2301 Midwestern Parkway, across from Midwestern State University. Offering Texoma the choicest beef, freshest fish, and the area's best wine list. Next time you're in the Falls, be sure to stop by our friends at Pelicans for fine dining in a family atmosphere. That'll do it for us on the pregame show. We'll step aside. When we come back, we'll have the opening face-off between the Jackalopes and your Wichita Falls Wildcats right here from the Ector County Coliseum. Don't go anywhere. Wildcats Hockey presented by Armored Roofing gets underway just after this on FastHockey.com and the Wildcats Broadcast Network.
Principal Linda Voss and Darla Townsend from Barbara Jordan Elementary. James.
Evening to you from the Ector County Coliseum, where it is time for Wildcats Hockey presented by Armored Roofing. Hello, everybody. Thanks for joining us on a Tuesday evening here from West Texas. Ben Horner with you on FastHockey.com and the Wildcats Broadcast Network as your Wildcats are finishing up their season series against the Odessa Jackalopes here this evening. The Wildcats are 5-2-0 against the Jackalopes this year, but have not had easy work of it against Odessa in many of their outings this season. Austin Shaw gets the start. He's in the cage to our right as the Wildcats skate from right to left across your screen. That is P to Q across your keyboard if you're joining us on the Wildcats Broadcast Network. Odessa wearing their home cream-colored sweaters with the blue and red trim, skate from left to right. That is Q to P, as Robin Johansson will get the start for Odessa. Tonight's officials, Corey Denbach is the referee with the orange bands on his arms. Daniel Spohr and Michael Hooley are the linesmen working the icings and offsides along the blue lines and the end lines. First time we've seen Corey Denbach this season for the Wildcats. For Wichita Falls, it's Bolio, Staub, Litviak, Cook, and Knight to start things off. For Odessa, it's Derek Brown, Zach Zach, Ryan McKellar on the forward lines, with Nate Werhane and Dakota Menslodge manning the blue line to start things off. Denbach making sure both goaltenders are ready. Looks like everyone is set to go. Staub comes into the middle, and the puck is down. We're underway in the first period. Brought to you by American Classified. As off the draw, it's Odessa controlling with Nate Werhane in his own end. Outlet pass hits the body of Bolio. He'll chip this one down towards the half wall. Cook couldn't reach it there, as Staub will hack this one along farther. Play continues here as Cook and Knight get a quick change on, as behind the net and working it along to the corner, it's Litviak and Bolio. Bolio at the right wing wall, plays it down behind the cage. First to it here was Odessa. A loose puck in the defensive zone for the Jackalopes is brought forward. Here's Derek Brown. He'll get to the blue line and chip in deep. First to it here, Baum will take this one away and leave to Townsend. Baum playing in his first game in a few outings for the Wildcats. Nice bump pass off the wall to find Bolio, who ramps this one up ahead for Litviak. Litviak skating 1-on-3. He'll play it from the left wing point to the right wing corner as Wichita Falls works on their first full change of the game. Approaching a minute played here in Odessa. No score quite yet, as slamming on the brakes, losing an edge, and trying to come up the ice was a Jackalope skater. That was Reese Phelps. He lost out, as trying to bring it forward and losing out was Eric Carreras. A one-time Brahmas man lost possession to Cam Knight. Knight swirls in his own zone, looks to play a pass to Matt Cook, now finally does. Cook swings it right back to Knight in the right wing face-off circle in his own zone, and he'll bank it up ahead, hoping for Farmer. Farmer skates through the check, cuts towards the middle, shot, caroming around there, and it went just wide. Played towards the front of the net. It'll be held in here by Knight. Left point, into the circle for Farmer. Shot towards the net, blocked away there. Lost in some skates, pulling it free nicely was Apap. He'll swing it down from the left wing side, all the way to the right wing side it goes. Sharazin gives his man a good crunch across the way, but the Wildcats can't possess. It's on the stick of Matt Baranek. Nice play by Knight to chip it towards the corner. Sharazin wasn't able to corral this one cleanly, as Andrew McLean will play this one up the ice as the Wildcats work on a change. This is Baranek at his own blue line, waits for his teammates to finish up their change, plays it back to the near side, wanting Corey Hoffman. Hoffman put under pressure there from Cam Knight. That allows Oakley to pick up a loose puck. Bumped ahead for Knight. Knight steps over the red line and plays in deep. 2 minutes gone in the scoreless first period. Ben Horner with you on FastHockey.com, the Wildcats Broadcast Network, as a nice pinch by Cherniak sees the Wildcats hold the zone only momentarily. Skating onto this one with a head full of steam, it's Phelps. He'll skate to the red line and play it in deep. Shaw slows this one up behind the cage as trying to win it loose. It was Cherniak, fed towards the middle there, and Lazarus with a crucial interception as Shodal was camped out in front. Wildcats can't clear the zone. However, Falconer will pick this one up and fling it cross ice. Wanted a teammate in front of his bench area as Cherniak and Oakley will jab this one along. Wildcats will work on a change here as this is skated forward by Danny Corrali. No icing here as he got to the red line before he played it in deep. Shaw steps from his cage and gives to Albrecht. Albrecht, nice little head fake there to get around Watson and Buck. Now he'll gain the zone. Towards the middle, steered wide there, and Reisinger couldn't find the rebound as the net is off its moorings, and we'll get a whistle. 17:06 remaining in the first. No score between the Wildcats and the Jackalopes here. Ben Horner with you on FastHockey.com and the Wildcats Broadcast Network. One of two games going on in the North American Hockey League tonight. Nick Farmer had a shot just a moment ago that took an awkward deflection, almost hand past Johansson and skipped past him. He was able to wave his big goalie stick at it and send it out of harm's way. Albrecht walking down the middle. Shot goes wide of the cage there. Johansson had it covered. Albrecht first to it there. He'll jab it along for Reisinger in the corner. Now it's Albrecht settling up to the blue line for Townsend. He'll step towards the middle. Here's Townsend holding. Shot deflected by Subri, and it goes wide. Albrecht trying to dig it loose there. He'll send it back around as wanting it in the corner was Reisinger. Here is Reisinger quickly to Townsend at the blue line towards Jeff Baum. Baum steps around his man. He'll skate to the left wing circle towards the net. Blockered away there by Johansson. Behind the cage with it, this is Derek Brown hassling, trying to win it free from Albrecht. He does, and he'll find McKellar. McKellar swooping through his own zone, trying to come up the ice with it, fighting through the check and gaining the zone. Here's McKellar losing the puck, and it's played out into the neutral zone. Albrecht, at the end of his shift, he'll put it on his backhand and play in deep and come to the bench for a change. 16:15 remaining in the first period, as back to collect it in their own end are the Jackalopes. Up the ice. Here is Men's Lodge. Pass too far for his man. This will not be icing here, as on the far side, it's worked free for Cam Knight. Knight has passed into the middle of the ice for Staub. Staub rushing through the neutral zone now. Left the puck behind. Got it in on side, however, and will go to pursue. Knight protects. Gives to Bolio in the circle. Up to Cook, loading shot, blocked away there. Look out here, nice keep by Cam Knight, but now on a breakaway, here's a man racing through Hampus Schodal. Now it's Christian Hausinger in a backdoor pass, trying to go back for Schodal, went through everybody. Loose puck there, and it skitters wide of the cage, and Staub kicks it to the back wall. First danger moment there for the Jackalopes as they jabbed it free and raced ahead, as this is Bolio giving it to Colin Staub. Staub, nice puck protect here. Now he'll lose it along the half wall as the Wildcats were in the midst of a change. There's that speed of the Jackalopes, however, as Hausinger and Schodal raced away on a 2-on-1. Here is Schodal once more. Shot wide of the cage there, and first to pick it up is Kevin Sheridan on the left wing side. He'll feed it into the middle. Apap has some trouble with it there. He'll fight through and get it in on side. Played towards the corner. Johansson steps away from his crease. On his backhand, he'll paddle it around. Trying to hold in and doing so is Apap. He served it from the left wing wall to Farmer, but he wasn't able to corral in the corner. Holding in on the far side, here's Chernyuk into the corner for Apap. Apap juggles it a bit there and now gives to Farmer behind the cage. Farmer skates out into the corner, he'll go and serve back behind for Apap. Apap now getting his stick tied up there illegally right in front of the referee. Sheridan trying to curl towards the middle. He'll puck protect here and look to play to Farmer. Farmer shot ripples the outside of the cage from an acute angle. Apap with it once more along the kick blade. He'll run it to Farmer, who serves back behind for Sheridan. Sheridan into the corner, tries to center. He wanted Farmer. Instead, it works free into the neutral zone off the stick of Corrali. Rather, that was Nick Keck. Sent back in deep. It's going to be icing against the Wildcats here. 14:26 remaining in the first period. And we'll get a defensive zone draw coming to the right of Austin Shaw. Shaw's numbers on the year, 21, 7, and 1, 297 goals against, and a 900 save percentage. He made 36 saves on 39 shots against on Saturday against the Roadrunners in that 3-2 overtime win for the Wildcats. Apap to take the draw here against Corey Hoffman. Nice win there for Tommy, but Sheridan has some trouble with it as he'll bump this one back around. Chernyuk first to it in the right wing corner in the defensive zone. Plays up the wall, easily kicked along and held in here by the Jackalopes. Hoffman jabbed away from him. Apap and Farmer trying to ramp it out into the neutral zone. Now finally Chernyuk has it land on his stick. He'll skate to the red line. Now skating down the middle. Chernyuk holding on a shot. Still holding shot and a glove save there by Johansson. And that one caught him a little bit surprised. 14 minutes remaining in the first. Chernyuk showing off the offensive side of his game as he skated into the zone to allow his teammates to get a change. As pump faked at the top of the circle, skated a little bit wider, and let a quick shot go. Johansson saw it through a screen. Face-off, it's played up the glass, and the Jackalopes will start it forward as McKellar plays it along. First to it here is Derek Brown, fed towards the middle, but tied up there was McKellar. McKellar takes it to the half wall and pursues. Bomb with him, towards the net, deflected around, and that goes high and gets the glass. Oakley first to it there, jabbed free. Lazarus skates onto it in stride at the right wing circle. Here's Lazarus, puts on the brakes, wants reinforcements, plays it to the blue line instead. Here is Townsend, winding, slap shot into the glove of Johansson, and we'll get the whistle. 13:33 remaining in the first. Jake Townsend on a big blast from just inside the blue line, having just got the single season record for goals by a Wildcats defenseman with his overtime winner in Saturday's contest. Playing with a head full of confidence is Jake Townsend, and with good reason. Career high in goals, career high in points and assists. Nice keep there by Albrecht, but he lost out in the neutral zone as bringing it in 2-on-2. Here's Kenny Hausinger. Hausinger delays, plays towards the front of the net, ramps off a stick, and that'll go up and out of play. Deflected off a Wildcat, so the faceoff will stay down low to the left of Austin Shaw. 13:21 remaining in the first, and first periods have not been kind to the Jackalopes this season. They're outscored 34-71 in the opening frame this season. However, that margin against the Wildcats is not nearly so glaring. Wildcats outscoring Odessa 10-7 in their 7 head-to-head meetings thus far this year. Here's Austin Bolio working this one forward, gets sealed off here as Litviak comes along and picks it up. Shot into and out of the glove of Johansson from the goal line, but he'll cover up. 13:09 remaining in the first, and right now the Wildcats are getting down the wall pretty easily along this left wing side into the offensive zone. Haven't had to try to skate through the middle too much. Faceoff will be to the right of Johansson as Staub, Litviak, Bolio, Cook, and Knight are out there for Wichita Falls. I'll start off the draw. Bolio and Dakota Men's Lodge going at one another. Washed out of the draw will be Zach Zeck. So stepping in will be Ryan McKellar instead. Off the face-off, it's one back to the point. Here's Cook holding through traffic, now to the corner. Staub shot on a quick attempt there. That ramps up and out of play. Getting a stick in the shooting lane, I believe, was Zeck or Men's Lodge. Either way, we'll do this all over again with an offensive zone draw for the Wildcats coming to the right of Johansson. 13:02 remaining in the first period. Shots on goal early in this one yet, but it is 5-1 in favor of the Wildcats according to the big board here at the Ector County Coliseum. Shots on goal indicative of, or they are indicative of the run of play. However, shots on goal, not the be-all and end-all, it must be said. As off the face-off, this is held nicely by Bolio towards the net. Kicking around here is Litviak, upended, no call-up coming. Nice play there by Kosmeski to sweep it down low. Here's Staub in the corner, puts on the brakes, feed it through the middle there, and Johansson got a pad to it. This is played up the ice, intercepted here by Kosmeski. He'll skate into the zone. Left it off there for Litviak. Litviak shot, saved and held. Spilled momentarily, but then held by Johansson as the shot came from Litviak at the top of the right wing circle. 12:41 remaining in the first, and Nikita is certainly going to be trying to throw everything he can on net. Of his 9 goals on the year, Litviak has scored 5 of them against this Jackalopes roster. That started on the season opener, got his first career goal to make it 3-2, as the Wildcats erased a 3-0 deficit before stumbling late 4-3. Had to take the draw. He was going to go against Baranek, but Baranek washed out as the Jackalopes win the draw anyway. Routed around to this near side. Hausinger, that's Christian Hausinger, had some trouble with it. He'll race Farmer there. Farmer fed towards the middle. Scherer in towards the net. Puck is still loose. Farmer and a save by Johansson, as there was one spot where Farmer wasn't going to score, and that's exactly where he shot it. Straight into the leg pad of Robin Johansson. 12:28 remaining in the first. It was fed out towards the front of the net in midair. Sherazin knocked it down. He actually baseball swung and had it hit the pad of Johansson. And then the second attempt by Farmer was turned aside and held. Another face-off win for the Jackalopes right off the offensive zone draw. Farmer mugs his man behind the net in front. Apap settles, and it's sent just wide of the cage after Farmer had it skip over his blade in the initial effort. Baum. Was he able to hold his zone? No, he was not. Swatted up the ice. Here's McLean. Quick shot and a glove save there by Austin Shaw. 12:11 remaining in the first period as Austin Shaw makes a good quick save on that big left catching glove after the Wildcats had a couple of good opportunities down low as well. One thing to watch out for in tonight's contest is penalties, because the Wildcats have the top-ranked power play in the league. Odessa's is not all that bad either. However, these are 2 of the 3 worst teams on the penalty kill in the North American Hockey League. Wildcats win the draw. Farmer will race this one forward, dumps in deep after gaining the red line, and he'll come to the bench for a change. Bump back behind as getting out there are Oakley, Falconer, and Lazarus. The Wildcats have a couple of lineup adjustments that will alert you to at the next stoppage, as this is Christian Hausinger swinging it back. Pass in the middle of the ice. It's onto the stick of Hoffman. Chipped in here, onside play, as Carreras was able to hold the blue line, as now it's Baum. Baum under some pressure, but he'll run it along there, and it'll escape into the neutral zone as McLean swung it along to this near side. That was played in by Christian Hausinger. First to it behind the net is Jake Townsend. Served back behind for Lazarus. Lazarus turned over Hoffman, and is saved by Shaw. Lazarus miscontrolled there. It might have hit a rut along the boards before it landed on his stick, and as he tried to swat it back along the boards, it kicked out in front for his New York compatriot, Corey Hoffman. Both of those guys out of Syosset, New York. Good friends as well. And Lazarus almost gave Hoffman an assist there, but Shaw was equal to the task. 11:28 remaining in the first. Face-off to the left of Shaw is won by the Wildcats as Litviak controls, gives to Knight, and takes it right back from him. Litviak looking to skate through some traffic. Nice pass along for Staub. Staub with a nice little stick move. He'll gain the red line and play in deep. Behind the cage, first to it there was Andreas Soji. Fed around the boards. Cook wasn't able to hold in, as hustling back to get it at his own blue line was Cam Knight. Knight Doesn't like his options in front of him here. Has some trouble with it. Turned over. Knight will recollect nicely there. Played off the outside of the cage, and Cook jabs it along farther. Litviak, he'll take this one, put it into the skates of Staub. Quick shot, save, follow-up attempt, and it goes over the net from Kenny Hausinger. Wildcats a little too cute in their zone, but now Bolio hustling along. Staub with him. 2-on-1. Here's Bolio below the circle. Toe drag, loading shot, scores! Austin Bolio. Goal number 20 on the year for the little man out of Florida, and the Wildcats take a 1-0 lead. He raced down the right wing wall, picked up the loose puck from the bottom of the right circle. He put on the brakes, toe drag towards the top of the crease, and snapped it by Robin Johansson to make it 1-0. How quickly things can change. Odessa with a couple of good looks in the offensive zone, and then the Wildcats take advantage on a transition rush. There's that skill as the Wildcats bring this one into the offensive zone, but Albrecht takes a good bump behind the net, and loses out. Starting this one up the ice, it's brought in deep here by the Jackalopes. First to it was McKellar. McKellar fed towards the middle, held in at the high slot towards the net, kicked around there and steered wide by Shaw, coming from the stick of Nate Werheen. Kozmeski jabbing at a loose puck there in the defensive zone. Instead, it's onto the stick of Subri. Subri back up the wall with it, and he wasn't able to get it past the man station there. Feeding it towards the front of the net, off the outside of the cage it went, off the stick of Zach Zek. As picking this one up is Max Reisinger. Reisinger's pass almost intercepted. Kozmeski gets it, plays it only as far as the neutral zone, as the Jackalopes have to tag up on a delayed offside. Quick outlet pass. Here's Albrecht. Has some space to work. Albrecht, as the man closes down on him. Albrecht waiting for reinforcements here. Wildcats were in the midst of a change, as APAP will be the first to this one. Fed towards the middle. Kicked off a leg there, as chasing it back into his own zone was Jake Townsend, as Jeff Baum goes back to support. Townsend. Sheridan now in his own zone. Sheridan led nicely forward. Farmer tries to skate onto this one and does. Farmer tries to get around one man, feeds it towards the middle, knifed up and out of harm's way there on a good back check by a man for the Jackalopes. 9:20 remaining in the first period. The Wildcats leading 1-0 on Austin Bolio's 20th of the year. As bringing this one up the ice, here's Odessa into the zone. Here's Watson Enbach. Puts on the brakes in the corner. Tries to feed it up the wall. Feeds the middle there for McLean. And he adds a lot of room as he skated in unmarked, but it was just out of his reach. Watson Enbach turn this one over to Baum. Baum with a nice little stick move there. He'll lose possession, however, as Watson Enbach tries to play this one up the wall and does. Having some numbers now, here's Odessa walking in. Here's a quick shot by Hoffman, that off the leg of Townsend. Hoffman will hold in at the left point. Dusting off the puck, now looking to go down the wall with it. Kenny Hausinger first to it there. Baum draped all over him. Fed to the point. Here's Holcomb holding on his shot towards the middle. It was intercepted, as this is Sheridan leading it forward for Oakley. 1-on-1. Here's Oakley holding. Shot. Steered wide. Rebound. Scores! Through the body. Evan Oakley makes it 2-0 with 8:31 remaining in the first. Another individual effort for the Wildcats sees them double their advantage. Again, coming immediately after the Jackalopes had an opportunity to get a good look on net. Oakley cleans up his own rebound, snuck through the body of Johansson, and it's 2-0. We're going to see a goaltending change, as that'll be all for Robin Johansson. Tanner Creel will come into play here. Creel on the year, 2-14-3 with a .419 goals against average and an .888 save percentage. Steered wide of the cage there by Shaw from a dump in from outside the blue line. Litviak digging for it there. He'll glove this one down just inside the defensive zone, needing some support as he was able to work it free, but not over the blue line. Here is Colin Staub playing catch with Chernyuk. Chernyuk, nice pass up the ice, hoping for Bolio. Look out up there as that one ramped up and out of play with 8:10 remaining in the first period, and that'll bring us to our media timeout. Wildcats are leading 2-0. Austin Bolio from Nikita Litviak at 9:21 of the first. Evan Oakley, I believe that was from Nick Farmer, as the Wildcats are leading 2-0 here over the Odessa Jackalopes, as Tanner Creel has come in to relieve Robin Johansson. Creel's numbers on the year, just gave them to you, we'll give them to you again. 2-14-3 with a .419 goals against and an .887 save percentage. He's been the goaltender of record in 16 of the Jackalopes' last 19 games since leaving the United States Military Academy and joining up with the Jacks in December. Creel, I guess, decided that West Point wasn't a good fit for him, so He left the military academy and worked his way to getting another commitment. He'll head to UConn next season. By the way, I alluded earlier in the period to a couple of lineup adjustments for the Wildcats. One of them was coach's decision. The other was enforced. Eric Yeager misses today's game with a lower body injury, turned by Coach LaFontaine as precautionary. As also out tonight is Austin Azanaro. Jeff Baum gets the start, or gets the go-ahead for Azanaro. Last 8 minutes of the first period as the Wildcats try to hold the zone. Kosmeski had some trouble with it there. Nice stick to take it away from Baranek. Once more, it's into the Wildcats' defensive zone as Kosmeski has to bump it off the back wall. He found Cherniak. Cherniak swept it along for Litviak. Litviak hooked to some space. Nobody there. Baranek holding on it towards the net. Punched away easily there by Austin Shaw. Staub first to it there. Ran it along the back wall. Instead, it's held here by Christian Hausinger. Behind the net, he'll play it to McLean. Left side. That's the left wing side. Goes back down low for Christian Hausinger. Bumped up to the point for Menslotz. Loading shot. Punched up into the air there by Austin Shaw. Bolio first to this one. Was he able to get it to the neutral zone? Yes, he was, with 7:20 remaining in the first period. Here is Menslotz. Thought about skating in 1-on-4. Lost the handle on it, and it served up the ice. Albrecht, was he able to get a stick to it? Yes. This will come up just short of the icing line anyway, as Albrecht takes an awkward tumble, trying to win that one back on the forecheck. Nice play here by Suber to do exactly that with his big body. Can't work it to the corner, however, as Cook kicks this one up into the air. Can't hold the zone. Reisinger disrupts things momentarily, and once more as Albrecht jabs this one along. Walking in, here's Albrecht at the left wing circle. It looks to drop a pass for Subri, and it was behind Paul Subri, and all the way into the Wildcats defensive zone it runs. McKellar hustling down to put Knight under some pressure. Knight quickly along for Cook. Cook under some pressure as well. He'll clear it down the ice. No icing here. Nice play by Albrecht to keep his man from getting a stick to it. 6.5 remaining in the first period. The Wildcats are leading 2-0 on goals from Bolio and Oakley, but McKellar walks into the zone. McKellar loses the puck, gets it right back, and plays towards the corner. Zek knocked it along here, losing out on the near side to Sherazin was McKellar. Sherazin's pass off the skates of Farmer and played in deep by Derek Brown. Cook left it behind as he was the first to it once more. Worked it along for Tommy Apap, who works it back for Cook to swing back behind for Cam Knight. Knight will dust things off and settle as wanting a headman pass and almost getting one was Kevin Sherazin. Nice read by Kenny Hausinger to disrupt that one and work it along to Men's Lodge. Men's Lodge, up the ice it comes. Playing this one farther along was Hampus Shodal. Baum the first to it here. Farmer comes back to help him as well. Farmer, nice play to find Sherazin. Sherazin, lead pass to find Apap. Apap bites through the check. Penalty upcoming here. It's going to be against the Jackalopes as Sherazin gives his man a good bump on the forecheck, and we'll get the whistle as touching up below the goal line was Dakota Men's Lodge. Should be an interference. Well, it'll be a tripping call. Either way, it's an obstruction of some sort. And the Wildcats will head to the power play for the first time tonight. 5:41 remaining in the first. They lead 2-0. Shots on goal are 14-5 in favor of the Cats. And they will get their first power play of the night as Nate Werhane serves a 2-minute minor for tripping. Wildcats power play on the year, best in the league, 26.6%. That's 47 for 177. Off the face-off, it's held nicely by Litviak to the point. Townsend plays catch with Litviak. Nice protect here by Litviak. He'll lose out. Coming along to help out was Townsend, but he wasn't able to hold the zone at Kenny Hausinger. The Wildcats tag up on a delayed offside. This allows a long dump in and out of the glove there of Austin Shaw by Danny Corrali as Knight picks this one up and plays it to the right wing wall for Townsend to gallop forward. Townsend slams on the brakes at the point, chips it towards the middle. Here's Knight walking in. Now it's Bolio holding shot, save, rebound is cleared. Will it escape the zone? No, it will not. Nice keep by Litviak. Stop. Steps off the wall and now goes to the corner. Looks to bump it back along for Bolio and does. Bolio outside the left circle, dusting it off to the middle. Here is Cam Knight, holding on it, swung it back for Bolio. Bolio, it was into his skates, so he'll catch it off the left leg and play it towards Knight. Down to the corner for Stop. He fanned on a bouncing puck to the blue line and Knight once more. Knight, shot, deflecting around, and it goes just wide of the cage. 1:05 remaining in the Wildcats power play in the last 5 minutes of the first period. Here is Knight, loading, shot off the leg there of Watson Enbach. Knight will get this one back. Softly towards the net, chipped in front. Staub couldn't get enough on it to get it home. Here is Bolio. He'll protect and play to Staub. Nice pass to trickle it up to the wall for Townsend. Townsend plays it cross ice to Knight. Knight dusts things off, steps around a man, and plays down the wall. Staub once more behind the net. tied up here, trying to work his stick free. Corrali takes him off the puck and tries to clear. Not out. Good keep by Townsend on the outstretched glove. Now it's Bolio. Wanting it is Litviak. Instead it's Townsend, middle of the blue line. Held on a big slapper and gave it to Bolio. Bolio collects left wing circle, gives to Cam Knight. Knight, slap shot, backdoor pass. Stop, can't put it home. Here's Bolio. Cross ice. He'll hold on the pass. Now it's Knight once more, deflected. Goes up to the glass. Bolio chops it to the corner and holds on here. Upended was Austin Bolio, as was stopped. Fed up to the blue line for Cam Knight in the last 10 of the power play. It's Bolio again. Shot in and out of the glove. Rebound is cleared, and Knight will have to chase it back. That power play unit spent the entire time in the offensive zone except for that initial kill, as they were getting a lot of puck movement around the top of the zone, but weren't able to get anything in behind Creel, who has relieved Johansson. This is Evan Oakley as he'll play it down for Falconer. Falconer hooking around in front there, as that was a wraparound attempt by Falconer, but sealing the post was Creel. 3:20 remaining in this first period. Rink-wide breakout pass is knifed down here by Shane Kosmeski. His pass for Lazarus was intercepted. Kosmeski takes it back into his own zone. Looks to spin up the ice and now spins it down the back wall. As first to it was Cherniuk. Cherniuk around for Oakley. Oakley, nice protect here. Worked it along hoping for Falconer, and it was able to work its way along to Kosmeski. Lazarus at the left wing side. He'll gain the zone. Holding, quick shot. Oh, goes over the glove and gets the glass as it tipped off the top of the leather. First to it on that far side point was Cherniuk. Plays it back down the wall. Soji will take it for Odessa, as will Baranek. As this is turned over, here's Lazarus picking Hoffman's pocket. Quick shot saved, and the rebound was spilled, but covered by Creel. 2:42 remaining in the first. The Wildcats are leading 2-0. Tanner Creel has already relieved Robin Johansson, and after Lazarus set up Corey Hoffman, his old friend from Long Island, at the beginning of the game, Hoffman returned the favor just there. And the shot was turned aside, or rather it was stopped and held by Creel. Off the face-off, the Jackalopes gain the zone, played towards the middle, and it's sent just wide there, but a penalty is upcoming. It was borderline offside. It's going to be a cross-checking call to Paul Subri. Streaking down the middle of the ice was Zach Zeck, waiting for a return pass, and Subri will take the penalty. 2 minutes for cross-checking in the last 2:30 of the first period. Wildcats PK on the year, 77.6%. That's 142 for 183 on the Gilmore's Collision Center penalty kill as Watson Enbach holds, loads, shot off a leg. He'll get it right back and give to the blue line for Hoffman. Watson Enbach once more, cross-ice pass. Here is Corrali. Corrali will take this up to the blue line and give to Hoffman. Now a one-timer steered wide there by Shaw as he knocked it to the glass. Sherazin clears all the way down the ice. Wildcats PK against Odessa, 18 for 21 on the year. That's 85.7%. Well over their season average. Back to collect and looking to start things forward are the Jackalopes. It's Zek getting over the red line and playing this one in deep to the right wing corner. Watson Enbach slows things up behind the cage. Kosmeski could have turned and cleared. Instead, he put it to the back wall. Behind the net with it here is Menslodge. Kosmeski puts him under some pressure. Townsend works it free and will just clear this one all the way down the ice. Jackalopes power play on the season as they'll change units. 14.8%. 29 for 196. That's 17th in the 24-team league. As the Wildcats have killed off a minute of the penalty to Paul Subri. A minute 25 remaining in this first period. Drop pass here is Kenny Hausinger gaining the zone. Hausinger fighting through, getting the puck right back and curling up to the blue line. With it and playing it along, here's Christian Hausinger. Backdoor pass, hoping for Kenny. His pass was intercepted and Lazarus floats it down the ice. We tick down towards the last minute of play in the first, brought to you by La Quinta Inns and Suites. Swung along there by the Jackalopes as they try to break things out while they're on the power play as we hit the last minute of play in the period. 30 seconds remaining in the penalty to Subri as APAP had that one tied up. That wasted a few more seconds. Now the Wildcats will have to hustle back as Hausinger tries to play this one down the ice, and that'll be icing here as they'll wave that one off at the last second. The Wildcats will pick it up and clear all the way down. Bolio picks Creel's pocket on the penalty kill. Out of all of that, there was a collision between two Jackalope skaters at the blue line as there's 5 seconds remaining in the penalty to Subri and 35 seconds remaining in the first. Jab forward there by Zek. First to it behind the net. Cam Knight will go to battle there with his man. That was Carreras. As out of the box is Paul Subri. The Wildcats have killed it off on the Gilmore's Collision Center PK. Lofted down the ice, coming up short of the red line. As this is picked up by Menslodge for the Jackalopes. Men's Lodge just outside the offensive zone, plays into the left wing corner. Cherniak protects and worked it for Lazarus. Lazarus chips forwards, overskates it, needs some help from Staub, gets it. Lazarus looks to serve it forward, hoping for Oakley to skate onto. Oakley into the offensive zone in the last 2 seconds, towards the net by Lazarus off a skate, and that'll do that for the first period of action. So, the Wildcats came to play in that first 20 minutes of action. They lead 2-0. According to Point Streak, they outshot the Jackalopes 20-7 in that opening frame. Goals from Austin Bolio, his 20th of the season, and a goal from Evan Oakley, his 12th of the year. That is where we stand. We'll step aside. When we come back, we'll have the intermission report. We'll hear from Wildcats head coach John LaFontaine. We'll revisit last Saturday's action, and we'll let you know what's going on in Corpus Christi between the Rio Grande Valley Killer Bees and the Ice Rays. That and more coming your way as Wildcats hockey presented by Armored Roofing will continue just after this on FastHockey.com and the Wildcats Broadcast Network. Back at the Ector County Coliseum, Ben Horner with you on FastHockey.com and the Wildcats Broadcast Network as we're bringing you Wildcats Hockey presented by Armored Roofing on a Tuesday evening against the Odessa Jackalopes. Final meeting of the season between these two clubs, and right now it's going the Wildcats' way. They lead 2-0. They have a 20-7 edge in shots on goal. But as we know, the games against these Jackalopes have been anything but straightforward. The Wildcats led 5-0 in 2 games this year. One of those wound up finishing 5-2. The other, a 5-4 nail-biter here at the Ector County Coliseum, a.k.a. the Jack Shack, on November the 29th, as the Wildcats escaped with 2 points, and I do mean escaped. However, good period for the Wildcats as they spent a lot of time in the offensive zone. However, interestingly, both of their goals came in transition rushes despite the amount of time they spent in the offensive zone. There's going to be some things the Wildcats are going to want to clean up on the defensive side of things, as there was a couple of times where forwards got caught puck watching in their own zone, and guys at the blue line had an opportunity to step into a shot, but weren't able to catch the pass. Most notably, McLean had a good look skating in just inside the blue line, but the pass eluded his reach, and that actually was one of the opportunities that set the Wildcats up for one of their 2 goals. And of course, I had a chance to speak with Wildcats head coach Jean LaFontaine before today's game, as I do every game, and he talked at length about defense and wanting to see his team play well in the defensive zone. That's been the theme all season long. Play well in the defensive zone. It will not affect the Wildcats' ability to play offense. We've seen that time and again thus far. They're on the right track, are the Wildcats. Some things to clean up. But here now is Wildcats head coach John LaFontaine from earlier in the day. Wildcats fans, joining me now is Wildcats head coach John LaFontaine as the Wildcats are in Odessa for one game with the Jackalopes. Final meeting of the regular season between these two teams, and although the Wildcats have a 5-2-0 edge in the season series, John, we know that these games have been anything but straightforward for either team. What can we expect this evening?
Hopefully, Ben, our guys are playing a little tighter defense than we have against these guys. They've caused us nothing but problems, mainly from the defensive side. They attack you with a lot of speed. They attack you differently in the offensive zone, where they like to bring the puck back up towards the blue line and then down from there. And so they spread you out really well, and we've just had some trouble with them. We're hoping that our guys have kind of overcome that a little bit and are thinking and playing a little bit tighter defense, a lot tighter defense, like we need to play this last month.
Last time these two teams met, it actually was one of the more straightforward performances for the Wildcats. Go out to a 5-0 lead. The final score winds up being 5-2, but one of those goals coming late in the third period, another one early in the third period. So for the Wildcats, it was a fairly comfortable result. What was the difference in that contest as opposed to, say, the night before when it was a back-and-forth 5-4 contest?
Well, I'd love to tell you that we played really sound defense the whole game, but we actually didn't play a very good first period, Ben. We ended up 2-0, but we got outshot in the first. And they played their game, and we weren't quite yet into our game. And then we did feel much better about the next two periods. Limited their shots, limited their grade A's, and our guys just played much tighter defensively. And when you do that against them, you're going to get some offensive opportunities. We saw Creel for the first time on that weekend, and he certainly is a goaltender that they could have used all year. He's a good goalie, obviously committed to University of Connecticut, and he really challenged us. I thought we had a lot of opportunities, and he made some saves. So we're going to be challenged tonight. I don't know if they're going with Creel or not, Ben, by the lineup that they're showing us. I guess we just don't know that yet. But we'll be challenged. Offensively, they're very strong.
All signs point to likely facing Creel. He is the goaltender of record in 16 of 19 games since joining the Jackalopes after leaving the United States Military Academy. And one thing to note about this Jackalope squad, John, is that they do have some offensive skill. You look at guys like Kenny Hausinger, Derek Brown. Recently, Corey Hoffman has come off the injured reserve. But one note, Kenny Hausinger and Derek Brown have been the catalyst for the Jackalopes. They have not won a game this year where both of those guys have been held off the score sheet. For much of the year, they were playing on the same unit. They're on two separate lines tonight. Does that give your defense a nice task to work with as they try to improve and hit their stride heading down the final month of the season?
Yeah, we're on the road, so it makes it tough. Makes it tough for Chris to match up defensively because we like to match up against their top line. But when they split those two up, obviously they make it tougher for us, and it's going to take all hands on deck to handle both of those guys.
John, more generally speaking here, it's the last month of the season, 12 games coming in a 27-day stretch for the Wildcats starting tonight. How do you go about, with so many games in such a short span, how do you go about making sure that guys are recovering well, are rested the way they need to be, are maintaining themselves down the stretch so they can be healthy for a playoff run?
Well, I think some of that has to do with, how your travel schedule is, Ben. We were on the road in Topeka. We're on the road again today, but then we've got the next three at home. I think that's going to help us. We go on the road the end of next week, and then when we come back, we don't have a weekday game for the most part. We'll end up going for a long trip to Rio. So I don't see or anticipate fatigue starting to set in or even worry about it until that last week. You come back from Rio, and then you got to play a road game in Amarillo, then you got to go on the road to Lone Star. So that could be a time when we need to take an extra day off here or there. And sometimes you can just tell the fatigue setting in on your team when you know you need a day off. other times it creeps up on you, and all of a sudden you get a rash of injuries, and you know that you've overtrained or your guys are getting overworked.
All right, John, thanks so much for your time. We'll let you go. We'll step aside. When we come back, we'll take a look at what's going on around the North American Hockey League on the Jerry Sporting Goods out-of-town scoreboard. Not too much going on in the North American Hockey League tonight, but we'll see what's going on in Corpus Christi with the Killer Bees and the Ice Rays just after this, as Wildcats Hockey presented by Armored Roofing will continue just after this.
Of the worst tagouts of the season. I did allude to it there. There is one other game going on between the Rio Grande Valley Killer Bees and the Corpus Christi Ice Rays this evening. You just heard from Wildcats head coach John LaFontaine talking about the defensive side of things, wanting to play a sound game defensively. Certainly some things the Wildcats can improve on there. They have been a little bit loose with their outlet passes, or rather their breakout passes off the wall in that first period, but for the most part, a lot of things to like about that opening 20 minutes if you're a Wildcats fan. Checking in on that one other game in Corpus Christi, 3-0 is the lead for the Rio Grande Valley Killer Bees. How about that? Rio split last weekend with Corpus Christi, and now they hold a 3-0 lead. And as Stathis Sumalitis, Connor Wood, and Dallas Girads scored in the first period. They're in the first intermission there. Well, with about 8 minutes remaining in our intermission here, we will turn our attention now to the Wildcats' last outing, a thrilling 3-2 win over the Topeka Roadrunners. Normally now we do this in the second period, or the second intermission, I should say. However, tonight we'll take a look, an in-depth look at what's going on this weekend in the North American Hockey League. But for now, we send you to highlights from last Saturday's overtime victory over the Roadrunners. Farrell will bring them together. Staub against Malver, and the puck is down. We're underway in the first period, brought to you by American Classified. Back, one-timer by Brickley, hammered wide. Follow-up chance, and Hiko Saka puts it over the cage. This is Lazarus. He'll hack this one down the ice. Brickley stopped it from going the length. So the Wildcats, they're burned here on a bad change. Here's Malver all alone. Shaw with the save, the rebound. It's loose, and it wouldn't go. It was a 2-on-0 after the Wildcats' change was botched, but the Wildcats survived that one. Boyo, did he get a stick to it? No, but he was first to it, so that'll negate the icing. Boyo, nice battle here. Feeds it towards the middle. Puck is loose there, and it's taken away from Stop Stick. As an arrow, now Litviak protecting on his backhand. Litviak swings it down the boards. Boyo, cross ice. Townsend holds, wanting a shot. Saved by Vogler. Puck is loose, and they score! It was never covered by Vogler. Farrell, the referee, was right on top of it, and Colin Staub dug it loose and puts it home. 7:29 remaining in the first. The Wildcats strike first. 3:24 remaining in the first period. 50 seconds remaining in the Roadrunners power play. Renneker was able to keep possession of the puck. Renneker in the corner, softly along to the right wing wall, where it's held in nicely by Cam Strong. Strong back down to Renneker at the half wall. Fed through the middle. Backhander save. Rebound. They score. Shaw made the initial save. Someone was on the back door to clean up the rebound. And the power play clicks for Topeka once more. The Wildcats can't kill off the penalty. We're back tied 1-1. Gornall clears up the wall. Irvine can't step in front of Staub, but now it's worked free, and Gornall will lead the charge down the middle of the ice. Here's Gornall, quick shot save. Rebound is loose. Where's the puck? And we'll get the whistle as Shaw has it trapped between his legs. And curling behind his own net were the Roadrunners in the form of O'Connor. O'Connor banks this one up ahead for Lutz. Lutz along for Hiko Saka. Knifed at him midair there for Azanaro. Now it's Sherazin. All alone. Breakaway. Sherazin. Toe save by Vogler, and he'll cover. Sherazin. He'll settle this one and spin towards the corner for APAP. Ramped up off the ice, off his stick, and it rolls along for Farmer. Back behind for APAP. APAP protects in the corner and gives to Farmer, who plays it up the wall. Someone is without his stick. That's Fernsler, as this is Matt Cook, middle of the blue line. Holding on it with Fernsler in front. Here is Matt Cook once more. Cook, shot deflected. They score! Kevin Sherazin gets the final touch. It skitters through Vogler, and Wildcats take the lead 2-1 on a power play tally, their second of the weekend. Fornara steps in front, feeds Erzowski, top of the right circle, loading shot goes wide of the cage, rebound is swept away. Fornara touches it up to the point. Here is Poland walking in, Poland still shot, save loose, and Shaw makes a glove save. Oh, what a save, Austin Shaw. 24 seconds remaining in the penalty to Tommy Apap, 7:32 remaining in the third. hold a 2-1 lead. Ben Horner with you on FastHockey.com and the Wildcats Broadcast Network. Urzowski walking down the middle, fanning on his shot, getting it back, and scoring is Urzowski. 2:09 remaining in the third, and Topeka has tied this one up. It has been coming. The Wildcats have spent a lot of time in their defensive zone this period. Urzowski moved along here by Brennan as it's in the neutral zone once more for Farmer, trying to wheel past Urzowski. Farmer gains the zone here, left it behind to Irvine in the last 10 seconds. Now it's a 3-on-2 for Topeka in the waning moments. Here's a shot by Irvine, save, rebound, sent through the blue paint. Back towards the net there, it's canceled out, hacked down the ice, and we'll go to overtime for the second straight night. Townsend off the face-off. Can he settle it? Yes, he can. Spins it down low, hoping for Staub. It reached him there, but Staub tied up by Brickley. Walks free. Staub has it tied up on the outside of the cage and loses possession as Brennan comes along and charges up the ice. Here is Brennan, hoping for Hiko Saka. The pass was a little too far from him, so Townsend will chop this one along. He wanted Chernyuk. Chernyuk fed it farther along for Bolio. Bolio loses his stick here. Look out, this is a 3-on-1 into the zone. Here's Hiko Saka centering for Reneker, and it was into his skates. Now Bolio and Staub have a chance. Headman pass. Here's Bolio at the left wing circle, walking in. Centers for Townsend. He scores! Jake Townsend! A minute and 3 seconds into overtime. The Wildcats spill off the bench. They mob the veteran behind the cage, and they skate out of here with 2 points. It was a thrilling game at the Landon Arena in Topeka, Kansas last Saturday night. The Wildcats came out 3-2 winners. Still 40 minutes to go before we have a winner here tonight. The Wildcats are leading 2-0 as we'll enter the second period. We'll step aside. When we come back, we'll have the middle frame here from the Hector County Coliseum in Odessa, Texas. Don't go anywhere. Wildcats Hockey presented by Armored Roofing will continue just after this on FastHockey.com and the Wildcats Broadcast Network. Second period moments away here at the Hector County Coliseum. Ben Horner with you on FastHockey.com and the Wildcats Broadcast Network. Wildcats 2 goals to the good after that first 20 minutes. Goals from Austin Bolio and Evan Oakley just about 2 minutes apart on either side of the 10-minute mark. As that was number 20 for Austin and number 12 for Evan. Assist to Nikita Litviak, his 25th point of the year on Austin's goal. They give an assist to Kevin Sherizin, his 19th of the year on Oakley's goal, his 40th point overall. It gives the Wildcats now 4 different guys, make that 5 different guys with 40 points. Wildcats skating from left to right across your screen, cue to be across your keyboard. We skate 5-on-5 to get things going here. As off the face-off, it's won back and controlled by the Wildcats as Chernyuk chases it back into his own zone. The Jackalopes skating from right to left across your screen. That's P to Q across your keyboard. No carryover power plays or penalties to speak of as Staub drops this one back. Chernyuk wants it. Looking to skate onto that one was Bolio. Instead, it spiked back into the neutral zone. Kosmeski, he'll work this one along. Got it up the ice for Bolio. Bolio stepping forward, holding on the puck, trailing play. One-timer by Chernyuk. He didn't get all of that one, and that was an easy save for Tanner Creel on the right toe. This is Derek Brown. He'll chip it past Cherniak. Cherniak got his big body in the way, leads it forward for Staub. Staub protects from a big hit, plays it farther along, as first to it in front of his own bench area was McKellar. Spun back laterally across the ice. Kosmeski first to it in a black sweater. Kosmeski had some trouble coming, so he hooked it into some space, wanting Sherazin. Found Staub. Staub banked forward for Farmer. Farmer walking down the right wing wall. Quick shot, steered wide there on the blocker, as trying to play this one up the ice and race forward. Could be a 2-on-1. Gaining the zone. Here is Zach Zeck. Quick shot towards the net. Cook got enough in the way to keep that one from turning into any more trouble. Wildcats trying to clear the zone. They are not able to, as a bouncing puck is gloved down here by Baranek, but it's played up ahead by Matt Cook. Spiked away from everybody. Sherazin couldn't find it, as this is Corey Hoffman delaying, getting to the red line and playing in deep to pursue. Cam Knight first back to it for the Wildcats. He'll look to wheel out of some trouble here, and does. Knight through the neutral zone now. He'll get to the red line, chips it towards the cage. Wide of the net it goes, as Creel will wire this one hard around the boards. Wanting to meet it on this near side was Carreras. Farmer put him under some pressure, but Carreras was able to knock it down the ice. Knight served it along to Matt Cook on his backhand. Quick pass, here's Farmer. Farmer looking to step inside at the blue line. Instead, hit down from behind, and we're going to get a penalty here, as McLean is going to take two for checking from behind right in front of Dedenbach. He made the call. And 18-15 remaining in this second period. The Wildcats leading 2-0. They'll have their second power play of the evening. They are 0 for 1 thus far. However, on that power play, they spent about a minute and 45 of the 2 minutes in the offensive zone. Just couldn't find a way past Tanner Creel, who has relieved Robin Johansson, who was removed after Evan Oakley's goal snuck through the body and nestled into the net. So power play on for the Wildcats. Trying to leak out was Kenny Hausinger for a breakaway pass. Instead, he'll let this one run up the ice, and Townsend will chase it back into his own zone. Townsend, bomb. Looks like Staub is out there along with Litviak and Bolio, as this is the aforementioned Bolio, giving to Litviak, and Litviak will play in deep. Creel tries to clear, played by a high stick, touching up with the Jackalopes as Watson Enbach moved to Kenny Hausinger, and Litviak put a shoulder square into his chest as that separates him from the puck. Townsend worked it along for Austin Bolio. Here is Bolio with a head full of speed down the middle. Here comes Bolio. He'll slow things up and curl to the blue line. Bolio was able to knock it down the wall for Staub. Staub, as the Jackalope skater lost the stick. That's Watson Enbach. Staub with a shot off a leg. He'll glove this one down and play down the wall for Baum. Baum hooked towards the corner where Apap's waiting. Apap up to the middle of the blue line, and Townsend. Townsend as Lazarus gets involved. Here's Lazarus fresh from the bench. Cross ice for Baum. It was on his offhand, and he couldn't tee this one up. Hustling along to the right point to hold it in is Townsend. Here is Townsend softly towards the net, off a body and wide. Staub will protect behind the cage. Wraparound chance there. Where is it? Creel didn't know where it was, but he had made the save, and Denbach will blow play dead. 17:07 remaining in the second, 52 seconds remaining in the Wildcats' second power play of the evening. Again, some decent puck movement around the top of the zone. They're not able to get anything cross ice from the top of the faceoff circles on down. Out to the left of Creel. Farmer won it cleanly back to Matt Cook. Cook towards the net, deflected around there. Farmer fans on a good chance on the back door. Here is Farmer. Worked along, hoping for Sherazin. A little too far for Sherazin to chase down, as this is Shodal forcing it back farther. Cook has some trouble in his own zone. He'll bump it blindly along. Sherazin will gladly accept and move it to Lazarus at the right wing wall. Here is Lazarus. He'll get past his man and gain the zone as Farmer in the middle. Lazarus all the way around the net to the top of the zone. Here is Cook. Back down towards the corner. Here is Farmer setting up, shot, save, rebound, Lazarus, and it's steered wide of the cage. I think Creel might have gotten a toe to it. Cook holds in at the right point. He'll play it down the half wall to Sherazin. Sherazin fans on the pass, and clearing it down the ice was Hampus Shodal. That should do it, in the penalty to McLean. He'll be out of the box in 3 seconds as Cook, under some pressure, runs it along for Kevin Sherazin along the kick plate. We're back to 5-on-5 hockey. Sherazin gets around McLean, fresh from the box. Sherazin gains the zone here as he'll get dispossessed by his own teammate. As starting things forward, this is intercepted by Cherniak once more. Cherniak has some trouble with it. He'll jab this one along and gets it into the neutral zone as Holcomb looks to settle and play in deep. Instead, he'll give to McKellar. McKellar plays this one down the wall along the left wing side as we approach 4.5 minutes played in this second period. Kosmeski up for Cherniak. Cherniak swats it along and plays in deep here as he'll man his position up at the right point. Overskated there by Soji. It's played up to the blue line. Kosmeski holds in, wheels towards the net, off a body in front there, and it's sent wide of the cage. Oakley fights through the check there and tries to play to the corner. Trying to dig it loose there is Falconer. Run behind the cage. Here's Albrecht. Plays it towards the front of the net. Oakley first to collect it. Oakley towards the net. Blocked down in front here. Loose puck towards the front of the net. Here's Albrecht shot. Save point blank, and Falconer can't dig the rebound out. Down the right wing wall, Cherniak with a good step, but he wasn't able to hold the zone. Back into the neutral ice it goes as Kosmeski will play this one in, and that will result in a delayed offside. 15-11 remaining in the second period. 2-0 the score in favor of the Wildcats as they have had their second power play of the night come and go. They get some shots on net, but weren't able to get one past Tanner Creel, who is showing why he has earned himself another Division I commitment. Off the face-off, this is Jeff Baum in front of his own bench. He'll wire it around the boards. Downs on the first to it towards the net. Deflecting rebound off the post from Lazarus. And Creel makes the save and a quick whistle. And Lazarus puts his hands on his head. He had that one. He beat Creel. Creel might have gotten a tiny little piece of the puck to send it onto the post. But Johnny Lazarus was that close from getting goal number 10 on the year. Face-off. This is Lazarus trying to dig it free. Suber gets involved and sends it down the wall. Reisinger, now Lazarus, has it taken away on his backhand. He'll chase towards the corner as this is Watson Enbach. Falling down there was Baum, but he was able to get the puck right along to Lazarus, wheeling in, drop pass. Here's Reisinger, scores! Max Reisinger through a screen across the grain. That's point number 30 on the year for Max on goal number 16, and the Wildcats lead 3-0. What could have been a dangerous play works out incredibly well for the Wildcats as Baum was falling down. He played it up the ice. Lazarus wheeled in, dropped a pass to Reisinger and drove the defenseman back. Max kicked it onto his strong hand and sent it just inside the top post. This one played in deep by the Wildcats off the face-off as Staub on the far side plays it towards the net, intercepted there by Werhane as trying to swat this one along, and doing so, here's McKellar, now it's Brown. Brown will play this one in deep as this is picked up by the Jackalopes, played to the point towards the net, save, rebound is spilled, it's loose, and it's steered wide of the cage as Staub had Zach Ted up. That is going to be Reisinger from 22, Lazarus, and 16, Jeff Baum, the defenseman in the neutral zone, who tapped it up the ice. Litviak forces a turnover. He protects. Here's Staub, now Bolio. Bolio towards the front of the net, and Staub sends it right back across the face of goal. Bolio picks up the puck at the far side half wall, wheeling towards the middle. Bolio, now it's Cam Knight at the circle towards the net, punched away there by Menslage. He cut across in front of his own goaltender there, as this is Bolio trying to hold the zone. Bolio on the right wing half wall. He'll do exactly that. Protecting and playing towards the corner for Litviak. Litviak behind the cage there. Trades places with Bolio. Hook towards the front. Karam's up tonight. Holding on it. Shot goes high and wide of the back door. Might have been better served playing it along the ice for some mayhem. 13:25 remaining in the second. The Wildcats leading 3-0. This on all the way down the ice by Cherniak. It's on the cage of Creel, and he will cover up. 13:22 remaining in the second period. The Wildcats now leading. Max Reisinger gets point number 30 on the year on goal number 16. Lazarus picks up point number 23 on assist number 14. And for Jeff Baum, that is point number 5. Point number 4 on assist number 3. For Jeff Baum out of Colleyville, Texas. Big crunch there by Sherazin as Cherniak holds his own at the right point. He sends it down low. Apap tries to return for Farmer. This one goes up to the high glass, stays in play, and we'll continue. Baranek looking to skate this one forward. Has Cherniak in front of him. He'll chip it past and go to the back wall. Cherniak slams him hard from behind there. That's going to draw a penalty here with 12:56 remaining in the second. The numbers were showing the whole time, and Cherniak, no protest from the young Russian. It's a boarding call. He'll skate right over to the box. To make for Denbach. 2 minutes for boarding for Konstantin Cherniak. He knew it, as racing around him was Matt Baranek, using his speed advantage on the long, lanky Russian from St. Petersburg. So the second power play of the evening for the Jackalopes puts the Wildcats on the Gilmore's Collision Center penalty kill. Face-off, Kosmeski fights through the check but can't clear. Holding on it is Hoffman. Now walking down low. Quick shot, scores! Kosmeski chased his man down. That left some open ice. I think getting the goal is Eric Carreras, number 18, and the Jackalopes have life. It's 3-1. One-timer on the power play, beats Shaw. Bar down goes that one, and it's 3-1. So a couple things wrong with that one for the Wildcats. Number one, that's a boarding call that you don't want to see Konstantin Cherniak take. The other, as check that, that's Watson Enbach on the goal, not Eric Herreras. The second issue with that is Kosmeski pursued out to the point, and that left some open space for Watson Enbach. Nobody in the shooting lane in front of him. As the Wildcats penalty kill is now 1 for 2 on the night. Of course, the struggles on the PK have been well documented for the Wildcats this year. It's been getting slowly better. Played by a high stick here as Cook touches up, so that we'll see play move on, as now the Jackalopes have a renewed sense of urgency. Here is Cook. He'll take it away and knock it along for Cam Knight behind the net, as buzzing on the forecheck are the Jackalopes. This played up the ice. Cook couldn't knife it away, as now Knight has it in his own zone once more. Tagging up on it, a late offside here, the Jackalopes, as Knight will walk down the middle. Here's Knight, quick shot, floating around there, and it's gloved by Creel, who had to adjust quickly to it. 12:19 remaining in the second, 3-1 now the score. Max Reisinger made it 3-0 before a power play goal just a few moments later. They credit it to Rasmus Watson-Enbach. Watson-Enbach continues to hurt the Wildcats. That's goal number 18 on the year, but against the Wildcats, point number 6, and this the 8th game played. Face-off. This is Werhane. He'll run it around to the far side, hacked loose as Matt Cook has it in his own zone and plays it at Cam Knight. Knight softly up the wall. First to it here was Odessa. Glove down in the middle of the ice by Subri. He'll lose out. Hacked it along to Cam Knight as Knight in his own zone plays it dangerously along to Matt Cook, but his pass worked its way along to Cook anyway. Cook, now it's Reisinger. He got to stick to it there, gets stood up at the blue line, but forced the puck in deep as Werhane tries to shovel it along for Derek Brown. Wildcats are in the midst of a change here as Reisinger has his man tied up along the wall, as this is ramped up off the high glass and down the ice it goes. This will not be icing here as Townsend, one-hand pass along for Baum as McKellar put him under pressure as Baum leads us up the ice for Subri. Subri's pass into a teammate skates here. Look out. Now it's Brown walking down the middle. Brown saved by Shaw. We're going to get a penalty here as Baum and Townsend left the puck behind in their own zone. Shaw made the save. Body spill into the net. It's a hooking call, and the Wildcats have already given up one power play goal on the night. They'll head back to the Gilmore's Collision Center penalty kill. I mentioned the Wildcats power play steadily improving, or the penalty kill improving. They were 67.6% in January, 71.9% in February, so it's marginal increments as Baum sits 2 minutes for hooking, but that is still not where they need to be come playoff time. Off the face-off, Sek is going to be waved out. So Corey Hoffman will step in. Hoffman started the year on IR, playing in just his 25th game of the season, as this is Sharazin playing this one all the way down the ice. So right away, this PK starts off better than the Wildcats' second of the evening. This is their third time shorthanded for the Wildcats. Jackalopes 1 for 2 on the power play as we tick down towards 11 minutes remaining in a second period, as now it's anyone's game. Here is Watson-Enbach. He'll gain the zone, plays back to the point. Hoffman, now it's Watson-Enbach once more. Curling around the top of the zone. Here is Corey Hoffman. Watson-Enbach, one-timer, goes up and out of play, was deflected off a stick in front. I think that was Matt Cook getting in the way, as we'll get the whistle with 10:58 remaining in the second period and a minute 31 remaining in the hooking call to Jeff Baum. Face off to the left of Austin Shaw here. And the second period is where the Jackalopes have scored most of their goals this season. In the second, 50 in the third, but the margin in the second is 50-65 as opposed to 50-80 in the third. The first is where the Jackalopes have really been burned, outscored 34-71, make that 34-73, as this is Cherniak clearing, not able to get it past the wall. Here is Corrali holding in, middle of the blue line, Hoffman, handcuffed, he'll get it down low, one-timer, and fanning on it there was a man at the top of the right circle, Watson-Enbach. Puck loose, squirts up to Hoffman once more, Watson-Enbach again, and it's saved by Shaw, and Townsend and Menslodge go at it big time in front of the net there. Bolio and Zek pairing off as well. 10:41 remaining in the second. Shaw fights through the screen to find that big one-timer coming from Watson Enbach. We get the whistle. 10:41 remaining in the second. A minute 13 remaining, and the penalty to Jeff Baum. No penalties will ensue out of all of that. Denbach saying probably that's your final warning, as Menslodge and Townsend were trading pretty good face washes and glove punches there, but we play on. One back here is Christian Hausinger, and a blocker save there on a one-timer as Bolio was able to chip this one pass and feed towards the middle for Staub, short-handed. Here is Staub, puts on the brakes, now tries to take it around the corner. Staub down low, will kill off some more time here as a loose puck squirts free, but Staub can't work his stick onto it. Here is Derek Brown. Brown at the left wing side. He'll gain the zone, put on the brakes, and wait for play to develop here. As now Bolio has him tied up. Down the wall it goes. Kenny Hausinger drops it to his brother Christian. Now it's Derek Brown. He'll lose out. Cook can't take it away here as this is trickling up to the point. Hausinger, his shot blocked, goes to his brother Christian. Christian Hausinger walking in. Now a one-timer saved by Shaw on the left pad. Jabbed away from Cam Knight as he tried to clear. Kenny Hausinger will hold it in at the left wing half wall. Bolio puts him under pressure. Cook can't clear the zone. Here's Derek Brown. Good stick work here. Loose puck there as Cam Knight disrupted play. Hausinger gets it to his brother Christian towards the net. Intercepted. Chopped along there. Wildcats can't clear. Held in. One-timer and a glove save by Austin Shaw on Kenny Hausinger. Staub had a chance to clear the zone. He didn't get all of it, as the resulting feed to Hausinger was teed up for a big one-timer, but Shaw made the save on the effort from the top of the left circle. 9:39 remaining in the second, 12 seconds remaining in the penalty to Jeff Baum. Face-off will be to Austin Shaw's right, as Odessa's power play is working well. Odessa's power play versus the Wildcats this year, 3 for 21 on the season. This one off the faceoff, rolling off the back of the cage. 5 seconds remaining. Watson Enbach towards the corner. Here's Hoffman down low. Wants a return pass, fed towards the middle. Here's Watson Enbach. His shot canceled out there. Loose puck, and Sherzin will skate onto it. Baum wants a headman pass. None forthcoming as Sherzin gains a zone. Sherzin has it spiked away from him. In the neutral zone, Chernyuk swings it away. Farmer waited for Baum to get back onto the ice. Look out, here's Shane Kosmeski, and he'll smartly chip this one up the ice. Delayed offside here, as we'll get the whistle. They don't let the delay play out, so 9:11 remaining in the second period. And the Wildcats having killed off the second of 3 penalties on the night. We're skating 5-on-5 with the Cats leading 3-1. With you on FastHockey.com and the Wildcats Broadcast Network. Face-off is handcuffing Kosmeski, but he was able to work it forward. Oakley has it swatted back away from him as Lazarus has to chase this one back. Lazarus left it behind there for Shane Kosmeski. Kosmeski wheels away under pressure from Baranek as he'll play it along for Chernyuk. Chernyuk bumps it forward, hacked loose. Oakley was just able to fight it over the blue line, worked it into some space, hoping for Falconer. Falconer gets it on his second attempt, rolled it along, wanting Oakley, again Falconer, and Falconer will snatch this one back to his own zone as play had broken down between the blue lines. Kosmeski banks this one up the ice. Will it go for icing here? It trickles just wide of the cage and will be icing with 8:35 remaining in the second. Lazarus, the closest to it, wasn't able to get his stick to it there as it was behind him. As the Wildcats' 3-0 lead has been dipped into here on a goal by Watson Enbach. Point number 38 on the year for Rasmus Watson Enbach on his 18th goal of the season. Getting assists are Zach Zeck and Corey Hoffman. Puck off the faceoff, scrum for and controlled here by Hampus Shodol across the way. Trying to dig it loose there. Chernyuk has him pinned to the wall. Oakley involved as well, as now a 2-side battle turns into a 3-side battle. Loose puck, McKellar's shot saved there by Shaw as he got just enough on it. Now Corelli towards the net, and it goes wide of the post. Soji sprints along, holding it in at the right side. It's served down low towards the corner. Oakley upends his man. Ran it around the rim, but it's held in here by Corelli. Corelli shakes it down low. It's intercepted here by Kosmeski. Kosmeski leads it forward for Lazarus, and an obvious offside there as Lazarus had slowed things up, trying to let his teammates get a change on as Kosmeski had galloped into the offensive zone. 8:03 remaining in the second, and that will take us to our media timeout in the second period as the Wildcats lead 3-1. Ben Horner with you on FastHockey.com and the Wildcats Broadcast Network. Will say on the power play goal for the Jackalopes, no chance for Austin Shaw. And by the way, Hampus Shodol during this media timeout skates off the ice, as that looks to be the equipment manager heading over there to attend to an issue with Hampus Shodol's gear, as the trainer is still on the ice. or on the bench anyway. Media timeout here at the Ector County Coliseum. That's a perfect opportunity to remind you that if you are coming down to Wichita Falls over the last few weeks of the season, maybe you're coming down for the playoffs, be sure to contact our friends at La Quinta Inns and Suites. La Quinta Inns and Suites is conveniently located between between the Wichita Falls Airport and the K. Yeager Coliseum. On Central Freeway and Maureen Street, La Quinta Inns and Suites is the official host hotel of the Wildcats. Visit LaQuintaWichitaFalls.com or call 940-322-6971 to book your room today. Again, that number 940-322-6971, and ask for the Wildcats rate. Getting set to get back to play here at the Ector County Coliseum out of the media timeout. 8:03 remaining in this second period. Face off in the neutral zone in front of the Wildcats bench area here as it's on the stick of Max Reisinger walking in. Shot off a leg. That will go up and out of play as we'll get another whistle, 7:54. We'll say this about Max Reisinger's goal. He's scored some absolute snipes this year. That by no means was the hardest shot we've seen from him all year. Little flutterer, and Creel didn't see it, number one, and it was back across the grain, number two. That's why that one worked out so well for Reisinger as it nestled into the top corner. Off the face-off, Subri wasn't able to beat his man to the puck. That was McLean, as now moving it forward. This is Zach. Played in, steered wide there by Shaw. First to it on this near side of the Jackalopes. Spun up the wall. Here's a slap shot wide of the cage there from McLean. To the far side it runs, as trying to hold this one in and doing so was Menslodge. It runs around to this near side wall. Reisinger tries to work it along for Townsend, who's drilled hard from behind. No call up coming. It's served around to the left wing side, or rather that's the right wing side of the Jackalopes in the Wildcats defensive zone. McKellar trying to walk this one free. 7:20 remaining in the second period as Reisinger picks this one up in the corner and looks to wheel forward. Here is Reisinger. Has Albrecht with him to his right, uses him. Albrecht gains the zone as Subri goes to the bench for a change. Albrecht cuts in front. Shot. Flashes wide of the cage there as Reisinger was on the back door. Staub, nice protect there along the wall. Reisinger goes up the wall with it. It was intercepted as Cherniak takes it in the neutral zone. Tagging up on it a late offside and coming to the bench was Max Reisinger as the Wildcats go in on the forecheck, and Staub will spike this one away. Gives it to Bolio in the corner. Bolio couldn't hook it out in front for Litviak as now Bolio is tied up. Back onto Bolio's stick though, banked up the wall. Cherniak sweeps it right back down to Austin B. Here's Bolio, cross ice pass. Staub will field it off the back wall. Here is Staub in the corner behind the net for Litviak. Litviak buzzing around right now, feeds towards the front of the net off a leg and didn't reach Colin Staub. Kenny Hausinger, he'll send this one off the high glass and down. This will not go for icing here as Cherniak gets in front of Derek Brown and ties him up. Brown wins that puck battle though behind the net. Here's Kenny Hausinger. Hausinger to the blue line in Corrali. Shot, save, spilled, and covered there by Austin Shaw. 6:16 remaining in the second period. Shaw makes the save, juggled that one briefly, but no traffic in front to cause any danger. Odessa out shooting the Wildcats 9-7 in this frame, according to Point Streak. Make that 10-7 now. The Wildcats still holding the edge, 27-17 in the contest. Odessa does allow the 20th most shots on goal per game on average. Held in here, Soji one-timer, didn't get all the way through as Sherzan got a block in the way. This is Sherzan leading in front for Cam Knight. Knight charges down the ice. Apap stays onside. Here is Knight. Drop pass. Apap and it was into his skates as now Odessa might have numbers. Walks in Enbach. His pass intercepted by Farmer. Farmer shot into the glove of Creel. He'll put it onto the ice and move it along there. Swatted out of midair nicely by Farmer as Cook holds his own towards the net, deflecting around. Up into midair. It's bouncing around the front of the net and Creel will make the save here. It's taking a tumble down to the ice with a little help from Corrali was Apap, with 5:48 remaining in the second stanza here at the Ector County Coliseum. Ben Horner with you on FastHockey.com and the Wildcats Broadcast Network. Thanks for joining us on a Tuesday night at the beginning of March. 1 month remaining in the 2014-15 regular season. Wildcats will have a run of 12 games in 16 days. 12 games in 26 days. That's a little more like it. Starting here tonight and ending with that two-game set, that crucial two-game set against the Lone Star Brahmas at the NITEC Center the last weekend of the regular season. Trying to dig it loose, here is Lazarus. He'll win the puck back, hooked towards the middle of the ice. Townsend, look out here, he wasn't able to get this one away from Carreras. Carreras gallops forward, his shot saved and held by Shaw. In the 5-hole it went, 5:36 remaining in the second. We get the whistle with the Cats still holding their 2-goal lead. Austin Bolio and Evan Oakley in the first period gave the Cats a 2-0 lead. Reisinger made it 3-0 at 5:18 of the second before a power play goal from Rasmus Watson-Enbach at 8:06 makes it 3-1. That is where we stand. If you're just joining us, thanks for doing so on a Tuesday evening. We're glad you decided to make us a part of your weeknight plans here, although, let's be honest, what else could you have going on a Tuesday evening? Still rather cold in Texoma, and looks like the folks back in Witchy are going to be getting some weather again tomorrow. Oh, joy. Doesn't pick up until after the Wildcats get home safe and sound, as this is Wichita Falls gaining the zone onside. Oakley toe drag towards the front of the net. Lazarus will take this one into the corner. He'll take a good bump. Townsend one-timer, and that flashes wide of the left-hand post. Apap protects in the corner, has it punched away from him here on a second attempt. Apap wins this one loose, tries to get it for Lazarus, and does. Here is Lazarus, seam pass, Townsend middle of the blue line. Townsend holds, shot, punching around in front there. Farmer wasn't able to locate it. Townsend skates down to the right wing wall. Can he hold his own? Yes, he can. Here is Townsend, loses out on it on a second time as it's fed back behind the net as Reese Phelps, beg your pardon, is able to chip it forward. Here's Carreras into the zone. He'll come ahead of Farmer towards the front of the net there, and Townsend was able to intercept ahead of Keck. Intercepted here by the Wildcats in their own zone as Cherniak plays this down the ice. No icing here as Farmer took it away from McLean. Here's Farmer's short side shot in and out of the glove. Farmer curls all the way around the zone. Loading, shot, punched down in front there by Apap as he wanted a deflection. Chip forward, here's Derek Brown on a break. All alone on Shaw. Brown saved by Shaw. Juggled and trickles wide to the blue paint. Fed up towards the blue line and all the way down the ice it goes. 4:25 remaining in the second period. Big chance there for Derek Brown. Shaw made the save. The rebound caromed around the blue paint, but trickled just wide of the right-hand post as the Wildcats live dangerously, but no harm, no foul for the time being. 4:10 remaining in this second period. Here is Derek Brown once more, coming out of his own zone. Got it up to a teammate. Now a dump in wide of the cage. Cherniak knifes it out of midair. No high stick here, but it's Derek Brown. Centered is in front. Loose puck there. They score. 3:56 remaining in the second period. It was tapped home in front. I think that's Zach Zeck on the goal. The Wildcats got a little bit careless in their own zone with the puck, and Odessa scores to make it 3-2. It was towards the front of the net. Making the initial save was Shaw. He's spilling some rebounds tonight, and the Wildcats are not getting them cleared away quick enough in this second period. Exactly what we see almost every time these two teams meet. Wildcats come out with a big push, take a lead, and then Odessa responds and puts the Wildcats under some pressure. Out the face-off at center ice. Hoffman plays this one in deep. Cook will be the first to it for Wichita Falls, as now all of a sudden the Wildcats are running around a little bit, wondering what happened to that 3-goal lead and that big edge and shots on goal. Odessa, you knew they were going to come with a big push, and we're seeing it right now as they're trying to get this game tied up before the end of this second period. Here is Cook. Outlet pass onto the stick of Litviak. In onside, here's Litviak. Hooks it back for Bolio. Quick shot save. Rebound, Litviak, and it's saved there by Creel. And you think about the chances the Wildcats had when it was 3-1, and indeed 3-0. Clearing attempt into the body of Litviak again. Toe drag, here's Litviak. Litviak protecting, couldn't hook it along to Bolio there. Now it could be a 3-on-2. Walking forward, here's Odessa. Chip towards the front of the net. Instead, it goes down along the wall. Bolio first to it there. He'll play it along for Staub. Staub's pass hits Litviak in the neutral zone as the Wildcats are in the midst of a change. Litviak's shot off the stick of Corrali and goes wide as Wichita Falls finishes up their change. Puck in the neutral zone, settled here by Falconer. He has some trouble with it. He'll skate it back to Townsend as Jake will look to set things up. He'll give to Baum. Baum now onto the stick of Lazarus, who's having a nice night thus far. Lazarus wheels in, loses the puck. Got it along for Oakley, however. Here's Oakley looking to play all the way around. Oakley loses the puck, plays towards the middle of the ice. He'll get it right back. Oakley at the far side wall, down low towards the corner. Here is Lazarus with Falconer there as well. Falconer tied up there by a man, that was Corrali. Baum trying to hold it in and does so. Found Lazarus, left it for Falconer. Lazarus jabbing it along. Falconer once more as Lazarus tries to settle things for the Wildcats. Here is Lazarus, serves it back towards the corner as Oakley jabs it along along there. Lost out, though, ahead of Waxenenbach as it's run around to this near side wall. Will this go for icing here? No, it will not, as Townsend will pick it up just short of the end line in his own zone. 2 minutes remaining in this second period. Townsend along for Baum, ran all the way around for Farmer here as Farmer can't clear the zone. APAP was able to dig it loose, got it to Farmer as Sherazin gives it right back to Farmer. Here is Farmer on the right wing wall. He'll protect, plays down towards the corner for Sherazin. Here is Sherazin into the middle. Farmer loading shot. Oh, and he rang it off the post. He had Creel beaten clean. Wildcats that close to making it 4-2. APAP wins the battle there and sends it back down low. Fed around by McLean. Derek Brown trying to clear, not able to do so quite yet. Where's the puck? It's loose along this near side wall as Sherazin worked it free. Here is Knight settling, fed cross ice for Matt Cook. Left wing side, Cook takes it at the half wall, now curls it towards the middle. Here's Knight, backhander sent wide of the cage there. Loose puck is played around the glass for Derek Brown by Odessa. Down the ice it goes. No icing in the last minute 15 of the second. And how big might that moment be? Stretch pass. Here is Staub. Nice stick handle here. Sherazin let it back along for Collin. Drop pass. Here's Litviak. His shot blocked there. It's cleared. Knight keeps. Here is Cam Knight. Last minute of play. Towards the net. Wide of the cage. Rebound. It's loose in front. Staub can't dig it loose with Sherazin. Behind the net once more. Staub and Sherazin dig for it again. Here is Staub. He'll get it back. Here's Colin Staub. Quick shot saved and held by Creel. 51.2 seconds remaining in this second period. The Wildcats led 3-0, but goals from Rasmus Waxenenbach and Zach Zeck have made it 3-2. As the Wildcats almost made it 4-2, Farmer just clanged one off the left post of Tanner Creel. Staub will go against Hoffman in the draw. As off the face-off, it's loose in the skates of the linesman. Kenny Hausinger works it free. Gloved down nicely by Litviak towards the net, and Creel gloves it down and will hold as Warehane gives Bolio a little slash on the way by. 44 seconds remaining in the second now. My goodness, we are set up for a ridiculous third period if this second period is any indication. Off won by the Jackalopes. Corrali plays it behind as Odessa has 40 seconds to try and tie this one up before this even gets to the intermission. Here is Corrali towards the net, steered wide there by Shaw. Townsend first to it there. He'll move it along, hoping for Falconer. Falconer jabbed it free. Was he able to get the puck out of the zone? Yes, he was, with some help from Oakley. Oakley brings it in onside in the last 20 seconds of this middle frame. Warhane along behind for Waxenenbach, who serves it back whence it came for Corrali. Corrali floats this one high up into the air. Baum gloves it down, and on a golf swing, he'll chop it forward. Nice little pitch there by Jeff Baum in the last 10 seconds of the period. Townsend in the neutral zone, waiting for Falconer to tag up. Loses the puck to Hoffman, and that should do it in this second period. There's the horn. So, the Wildcats take a 3-0 lead on Max Reisinger's goal at 5:18 of the second period, but a power play goal from Rasmus Waxenenbach, and then an even strength tally. They give it to Ryan McKellar, number 12, cleaning it up. That makes it 3-2 and giving the Wildcats a whole lot of things to think about heading into the third period. We'll step aside. When we come back, we'll take an in-depth look at what's going on around the North American Hockey League this upcoming weekend, as the Jerry Sporting Goods Out-of-Town Scoreboard Report will be a bit of a preview edition here tonight from the Ector County Coliseum. Wildcats Hockey presented by Armored Roofing rolls on just after this on FastHockey.com and the Wildcats Broadcast Network. Back at the Ector County Coliseum, second intermission here. Ben Horner with you on FastHockey.com and the Wildcats Broadcast Network. Second period did not go as well for the Wildcats as the first period. They still lead 3-2 the score. However, they were up 3-0 before Rasmus Watson-Enbach scored at 8:06 and Ryan McKellar scored at 16:04. And that gives the Wildcats some work to do in the third period. That is for sure. And something to think about as, of course, remember that this Jackalopes team, despite the fact that they're not usually the ones to find the net first, they do have a couple of comeback wins, 2 to be precise, but they are always liable to put their opponents under pressure in the second and third period. Of course, just one other game going on around the North American Hockey League tonight, and as that game stands, it is 4-1 late in the second period in favor of Rio Grande Valley. But despite just one game tonight, there is a full slate of action this Friday and Saturday, and right now we'll take a closer look at what's going to be on deck for this weekend as the Jerry Sporting Goods out-of-town scoreboard rolls on with a preview edition. With you Wildcats fans back here at the Ector County Coliseum. Second intermission here on FastHockey.com and the Wildcats Broadcast Network as we're going to take a look around the North American Hockey League. It's the Jerry Sporting Goods out-of-town scoreboard. Bit of a mix-up to our Jerry Sporting Goods out-of-town scoreboard as we'll take a look ahead at what's going on this weekend in the North American Hockey League. Just one game going on right now. We'll get you the score on that one in just a few moments between Corpus Christi and the Rio Grande Valley Killer Bees. But as we're hitting crunch time, it's the final month of the 2014-15 regular season in the North American Hockey League, and playoff races are heating up around the league in all divisions. In fact, pretty much every single division has yet to have all 4 of their playoff spots, or 6 in the case of the South Division, decided as we enter the final month of the season. We start in the North Division where there's a big series between the Janesville Jets and the Sioux Eagles in Janesville this weekend. The Jets, the hottest team in the league, bar none, 26-1-0 since November 28th. They swept the Michigan Warriors last weekend for their 15th and 16th consecutive wins. Janesville is absolutely on fire right now, and they're taking on a Sioux Eagles squad that took 5 of 6 points against the Springfield Junior Blues last weekend. The Eagles need 3 points to clinch a playoff spot over the Springfield Junior Blues, but they are 1-9-0 against Janesville this season. We're certainly going to have to keep an eye on that. The Jets, for their part, they need just 8 more points. They either need to earn 8 more points, any combination of them earning and Topeka dropping, that adds up to 8 points. We'll see the Janesville Jets be the 2014-15 North American Hockey League regular season champion. They've already locked up home ice advantage and the division title, gunning for that last feather in their cap in the regular season. Elsewhere around the North Division, Keystone travels to Flint, Michigan to take on the Warriors. The Ice Miners, also one of the league's hotter teams since the second half of the season has gotten underway, really since December when news broke that their franchise would be folding at the end of the year. They've really turned in a strong performance to respond to that disappointing news. Keystone currently sits in third place in the North Division. They are 1 point back of the Sioux Eagles, but they have played one fewer game than the Sioux, so they control their own destiny in trying to get that second home ice spot in the division semifinals. They swept Kenai River last weekend. That gave them 3 wins in 4 on their 4-game Alaska road trip. Certainly a successful trip out to the 50th state for the Ice Miners. Now Michigan, for their part on the other side of the ice, after winning 4 straight, they've now lost 4 straight. 2 at home to Janesville, 2 on the road to the Sioux Eagles. They're 8 points back with 9 games left, and if they're going to make a move, it has to happen right now. They are 3-4 against the Ice Miners this year. We switch to an out-of-division contest. The Minnesota Magicians are on the road for 2 games this weekend against the Aberdeen Wings. Aberdeen was swept last weekend by the Austin Bruins on the road. They're 5 points ahead of the Brookings Blizzard for the 4th and final playoff spot in the Central Division are the Wings right now. They have 48 points in 51 games played. However, Brookings, as they sit 5 points back, have played in 1 fewer game than the Aberdeen Wings, and the Blizzard are idle on Friday night. Certainly a little wrinkle to look out for in that one. The Minnesota Magicians, they might be finding their stride at the right time after a brutal run that saw them win 2 games over a stretch of that saw them win 3 games over a 2.5, 3-month span. The Magicians have now won 3 straight for the first time since October the 24th through the 31st after they swept the Cooley Region Chill last weekend. Their magic number to clinch a playoff spot in the Midwest Division is 6 points over the Kenai River Brown Bears. Minnesota has played 2 fewer games than Kenai River and has a 9-point edge. And even though they sit 11 games under 500, the Magicians look like they're going to sneak into the Midwest Division playoff picture via the back door. Fairbanks, the Minnesota Wilderness, and Cooley Region have already secured the Midwest Division's top three spots. Also, another out-of-division contest on the weekend, Kenai River at Bismarck. I mentioned Kenai River swept by Keystone last weekend, just one win in their last 11 games, and they'll finish up with a slate that sees them play 6 of their final 8 games on the road. They are 5-17-2 on the road this season, are the Brown Bears. On the other side of the ice, the Bismarck Bobcats split with the Minnesota Warriors at home last weekend. That's a good, solid result for the Bismarck Bobcats, to be sure, against a Wilderness team that is right in the thick of the race for the Midwest Division title. Bismarck needs 9 points to clinch a seed over the Brookings Blizzard in the Central Division. They are 1-1 versus Kenai River this year. In Minot this Friday and Saturday, the Ice Dogs are taking on the Minotauros. Fairbanks took 3 points against Johnstown last weekend, and they just need 2 more points to clinch home ice in the Midwest Division playoffs. They have a 2-point lead on the Minnesota Wilderness for the Midwest Division title. However, check that they are deadlocked, 72 points apiece are the Ice Dogs and Wilderness. However, Fairbanks has played 2 more games than the Wilderness have, so they need to get wins in all of their remaining games and hope that the Wilderness don't pick up wins in their remaining games at hand. Meanwhile, Minot clinched a playoff spot last Friday, the same night that the Wildcats did, coincidentally. They swept the Brookings Blizzard. They've now won 3 straight after an 0-3-1 skid. They need just 6 points to lock up home ice over Bismarck and Aberdeen in the Central Division. They are 1-1 against Fairbanks this weekend. We continue on the Jerry Sporting Goods out-of-town scoreboard report as we transition into the South Division. In Odessa, where we are tonight, the Jackalopes will host the Rio Grande Valley Killer Bees this weekend for a pair of games. Rio Grande Valley split with Corpus Christi last week, and of course they're in action on the road against the Ice Rays tonight. We'll get you that score in just a second, but Rio Grande Valley has quietly turned in a very solid second half of the season. Don't look now, the Killer Bees are 6-2-2 over their last 10 games. They have a 6-point lead over the Amarillo Bulls for the 6th and final playoff spot in the South Division, and they trail the Wenatchee Wild and have 1 game in hand as they try to climb up the ladder to maybe 5th place, and maybe, it would be a stretch, but it is possible, maybe, into 4th spot as they trail the Corpus Christi Ice Rays by 9 points, but have played 1 more game. So a win tonight for Rio Grande Valley over Corpus Christi would certainly help them out this year. As for Odessa, the other side of things, they're 3-2-1 against the Killer Bees this year, and this is an opportunity for the Jackalopes to play spoiler, which is about what this season has come down to for Odessa. 7 of their last 10 games entering play this weekend are against teams who have not clinched a playoff spot yet in the South Division. So Odessa certainly will have a role to play in the seedings for the South Division playoffs. Another battle to watch for the Wildcats, Topeka at Amarillo this weekend. The Roadrunners 4-0-0 against the Amarillo Bulls this season as they battle for the top spot in the South Division. Topeka has played the same number of games as the Lone Star Brahmas, has just a 2-point cushion on the Brahmas as they enter play this Friday evening. Now the Bulls, for their part, they're still fighting for their playoff lives. They picked up a 4-2 win over the Wenatchee Wild last Sunday to keep their slim playoff hopes alight. They need to erase a 6-point gap behind the Rio Grande Valley Killer Bees, and more importantly, though, the Bulls have no more head-to-head meetings with Rio Grande Valley, so if they're going to do it, they're going to need a whole lot of help. Both of those teams, by the way, have played 50 games entering the weekend. It will be 51 once the Tuesday night contest between the Killer Bees and the Ice Rays concludes here this evening. As it stands tonight, Rio Grande Valley has a 6-point edge, 50 points compared to 44 for the Amarillo Bulls. And the final week series going on around the South Division this upcoming weekend, and it's another one to keep an eye on if you're a Wildcats fans. Corpus Christi on the road in North Richland Hills, taking on the Lone Star Brahmas for 2 at the NYTEX Center. Corpus Christi, as I mentioned, split with Rio Grande Valley last weekend. They're playing the Killer Bees this evening. The magic number to clinch a playoff spot for the Ice Rays is just 5 points. They are 2-2-1 against the Lone Star Brahmas this season. Now, the Brahmas are guaranteed home ice in the first round. The question mark for them is, what will that first round be? Will it be in the division semifinals, or will it be in the play-in round that first weekend of April. They need 19 points to secure a first-round bye over the Wildcats through the Brahmas entering play on Friday evening, although what happens here tonight will certainly have a say in that. They are 3-1-1 against the Ice Rays this year, and the Brahmas, who have 73 points, have a 5-point lead on the Wildcats, but Wichita Falls has played 3 fewer games, so tonight's game is certainly a big one as the Wildcats try to take advantage of their games in hand. That'll do it for the Jerry Sporting Goods out-of-town scoreboard report. We'll step aside quickly. When we come back, we'll update you on the only other game in action tonight, Rio Grande Valley taking on the Corpus Christi Ice Rays, and we'll have the third period of action coming your way from the Ector County Coliseum. Don't go anywhere. Wildcats hockey presented by Armored Roofing will continue after this on FastHockey.com and the Wildcats Broadcast Network. Back here at the Ector County Coliseum, you just heard a preview of the weekend of action. One quick check on that game in Corpus Christi right now. Rio Grande Valley 4, the Ice Rays 1. Wes Michaud made it 3-1 for Corpus Christi, but Cam Black unassisted on a race away down the ice. It looked like it was a clean breakaway for Cam Black. He went coast to coast, and that made it 4-1 in favor of Rio Grande Valley. They're in the second intermission. They're getting ready to wrap up the second intermission from the American Bank Center, and we're set to wrap up the second intermission here from the Ector County Coliseum. We'll step aside. When we come back, we'll have the third period of action. Team skating 5-on-5. The Jackalopes have cut into the Wildcats' 3-goal lead. It is now 3-2 as we enter the final frame. We'll step aside. When we come back, we'll have that final frame right here from Odessa, Texas. Don't go anywhere. Wildcats hockey presented by Armored Roofing will continue after this on FastHockey.com and the Wildcats Broadcast Network. Back here at the Ector County Coliseum, Ben Horner with you on FastHockey.com and the Wildcats Broadcast Network. Final 20 minutes of action, or will it be the final 20 minutes of action? We'll have to stick around and find out. Cats are leading 3-2. They skate from right to left across your screen. That's P to Q across your keyboard. Coming back the other way are the Jackalopes, left to right. That is Q to P across your keyboard if you're joining us via the Wildcats Broadcast Network. As no carryover power plays or penalties to speak of, we start 5-on-5. Odessa has cut into the Wildcats' 3-0 lead. It is now 3-2. Goals from Rasmus Watson-Enbach and Ryan McKellar in the second period after Reisinger made it 3-0. So, the Wildcats know they're going to have to deal with an early surge against this Jackalopes team here. Can they weather it? Can they expand the advantage? Don't forget, Farmer Rang went hard off the iron, beat Creel cleanly after it was 3-2. Went in and out. Puck down. We're underway in the third period, brought to you by American Classified. As off the draw, it's played in deep by the Wildcats as the Jackalopes look to control. Bolio with a nice play. Bomb keeps, plays it well wide of the cage. First to it there, off the back wall. It's picked up and played along by Odessa. Bringing it forward here. Nice bump by Litviak to get his body in the way of the potential cross-ice pass, as this is Bomb hooking it farther up the ice. Shaw wasn't able to seal the wall here. Townsend first to it there. He jabbed it along for Nikita Litviak. Here is Litviak skating 3-on-3 for the Wildcats. He'll get to the breaks and send it in deep as the Wildcats will hustle up on a change. Wanted to start things up the ice quickly, but deciding to skate coast to coast. Here's McKellar. McKellar wheeling past one-man APAP there. Jabbed away from him. Loose puck skated onto by Farmer. He'll play this one down the ice. Will it go for icing? Yes, it will. McLean was close to it, didn't touch it, but they'll let that one go on anyway. 19:08 remaining in the third period. The Wildcats had just finished up their change, so still pretty fresh legs on the ice. Face off to the right of Austin Shaw, as the Wildcats will have to deal with Kenny Hausinger, Hoffman, and Watson-Enbach. Not the unit you want to be dealing with right now, as you're clinging to a one-goal lead. Face off, one back. Hoffman shot wide of the cage there. Rather, Shaw was able to send it wide through the blue paint there from the goal line. As it's up to the point, one-timer well high and wide of the cage coming from Christian Hausinger. Off to the far side half wall it goes. Skipping around behind the net. Kosmeski swats it along. Christian Hausinger goes back down the wall from the right wing side. Kosmeski digging out at Hoffman. Here's a shot off a leg. Now McLean on the rebound shot towards the net. Farmer got a skate in the way. Playing down the wall by McLean. He found Hoffman. Feeds towards the middle. Watson-Enbach skipped over his stick. Shot goes wide of the cage there from the blue line. That was McLean with the opportunity after Watson-Enbach was all alone in the high slot. Played towards the front of the net there and deflected, but just through the blue paint. Sharazin can't clear. This is Hoffman. Now it's Christian Hausinger walking in. Shot, scores through a screen. A minute 40 seconds into the third. The Wildcats have seen their 3-goal lead disappear. You knew it was coming, the early push. They couldn't clear. They had a couple of opportunities to do so. And now we're back where we started. It's 3-3. Christian Hausinger was allowed to walk all the way in from the wall and sneak one through Austin Shaw. Christian Hausinger, that'll be goal number 7 on the year. Shaw was screened, but someone has to close down Christian Hausinger, or at the very least clear out the man in front and give Shaw a chance. So we're right back where we started. Tie game, 18-20 remaining in this third period. And since going up 3-0, the Wildcats have been outplayed by the Jackalopes. No ifs, ands, or buts. Center ice face-off. Falconer will go against Baranek. Off the face-off, it's won by Odessa here. They've been very strong in the face-off dot in their recent surge as Baranek plays this one along. Chip through the middle of the ice. Cook got a body in the way and was able to work it along from Lazarus. Lazarus's pass intercepted. Falconer gets the loose puck. Falconer holding still. Shot off the outside of the cage as the Wildcats, we should mention, hit 2 posts in this contest when they were up 3-1 and then 3-2. Thrown into the wall there. This is going to be, Lazarus was thrown into the wall. Are they going to give him an embellishment? No, it's going to be a boarding call. They whistled it when Falconer touched up, though. Interested there. I guess they said it was played to Falconer by the Jackalope skater. So, a boarding call assessed to Nate Werhane gives the Wildcats their 3rd power play of the night. They are 0 for 2 on the manage thus far, and boy, do they need one to take the wind out of the sails of the Jackalopes here. Face off. The Wildcats win this one back to the blue line. Protecting there was Sherazin. Cook walks down the wall towards the net off a stick and goes high to the glass. Tied up there. Loose puck in front. Still it's loose. They scored. Jamming away at it. Farmer and APAP. Not sure who got the final touch. Either way, the Wildcats immediately retake the lead. It's 4-3. On the power play, it was tapped home in traffic. If it's Farmers, that'll be goal number 19 on the year. If it's APAP's, that's 9. Either way, the Wildcats will regain the lead. It's 4-3. At the score is kind of anyone's best guess who got the final touch to that one. No icing here off the faceoff as Albrecht plays that one in. Nice play by Albrecht. Albrecht all the way around behind the net. He'll possess. Looks to curl away with it and left it in the corner there. Albrecht skates away with it, fighting through the check there. That was Zach Zeck taking him off it as Derek Brown looks to work this one loose. Played all the way down the ice. Will it go for icing here? It should and will, as Baum was the closest to it. 17-18 remaining in the third. And although Alston Albrecht has not shown up on the score sheet yet tonight, he has had a very good game, bringing a lot of energy to the Wildcats line of Albrecht, Subri, and Reisinger. As the Wildcats will get their top unit out there of Bolio, Staub, and Litviak, trying to take advantage of the mismatch after the icing. Wildcats win the draw. Here's Bolio skating towards the corner, all the way around behind. Here's Bolio turning around, shot up high there. He was looking to pick the top corner, and Creel was able to elevate just enough to take it away. Here is Litviak in the neutral zone. Swooped it along there, wanting a man. Jabbed at there by Townsend. He'll fight through the check of Derek Brown and force it along farther to prevent the Wildcats from getting burned on a mismatch. Here is Christian Hausinger. Moved it along for McKellar. McKellar pump fakes there, tries to get around Townsend and does. McKellar shot, toe save, wrap around chance. Where's the puck? It's behind the cage. Kosmeski picks up the loose disc. Feeds it up the ice for Litviak. Litviak lost it in some skates, so we'll play it back to Townsend as the Wildcats look to finish up their change. Townsend hooked it along for Kosmeski. Kosmeski up ahead. He wanted Oakley. That one went through his wickets and will be icing against the Cats. They weren't able to complete their change, and in its entirety, Staub, the straggler. They give it to Farmer on the power play from APAP and Matt Cook just 36 seconds after Christian Hausinger had tied it at 3. 4-3 the score in favor of the Wildcats. They were leading 3-0 at one point. As true to fashion, Odessa has made this a game. That was Kenny Hausinger trying to fight through the check there. Lazarus swats it off the back wall. Running around a little bit are the Wildcats, but Lazarus has it. Moves it up the ice. Oakley left behind there. Now Cherniak got it onto the stick of Oakley, and the Wildcats will finish up their change. Oakley gained the zone, left it behind there as picking this one up and looking to motor up the ice. Here's Kenny Hausinger. Gets around Lazarus and gains the zone. Here's Hausinger right down the middle. Shot goes up high and gets the glass. Off the back wall, Karam to the back of the cage. Here's Soji, one-timer as he settled at the blue line, and it's wide. Corrali towards the net. Loose puck in front there as getting a stick to that one was Hoffman to send it changing directions, but Shaw pounced on top of the loose disc. 15:58 remaining in this third period. The Wildcats are leading 4-3. They were up 3-0. Ben Horner with you on FastHockey.com and the Wildcats Broadcast Network. As the faceoff will be to Austin Shaw's right. Alex Falconer hustles off the ice as APAP is out there to take the draw. Win there by Tommy. Farmer the first to it there, but he gave it away, fed towards the middle. Here's Hausinger, drop pass, shot, blocked in front there by a brave body. I think that was Cam Knight. It was Knight. Walks in Enbach, swats this one out of midair, in deep it goes. Knight the first to it there, he'll run it along, back to this near side. APAP digs at this one, hacks it down the ice, walks in Enbach, intercepts in the neutral zone. Picking his pocket, here's Sherazin with a chance, all alone. Toe drag, he tried to drop it back for Farmer there. He might have just gotten a shot away quick. Here is Knight. He'll settle, and that allows APAP to come along and hold the zone. Sherazin trying to tee up Cook at the left circle. Here's Cook, drop pass. Sherazin towards the net, skittering around. Loose puck still in the blue paint. As picking this one up is Odessa. Tumbling down to the ice was the man in front. That was Sherazin. Farmer has it, holding down in front. Sherazin, save, rebound, they score! Kevin Sherazin taps it home. Nick Farmer fed it down low, and the Wildcats regain the lead. It's 5-3 now. A big pile up in the crease. saw no calls forthcoming from Denbach. The Wildcats held the zone. Everyone backed off Farmer as he walked in, and he played it close to Sherazin, who tucked it home on the second attempt. Face-off as the Wildcats have responded to that tying goal very well to make it 5-3. It's Jake Townsend. He'll gain the red line and flip this one in deep. Tanner Creel will watch this one go to the glass above his cage. Subri leads it back to the point. Here's Baum. He'll go down the wall for it. First to it behind the cage. Albrecht rolls his man off it. Subri digs it loose in the corner. Here is Subri. Chips it down low. Albrecht settles nicely. Shakes away from McLean. Here is Albrecht. All the way around in front. Shot saved there by Creel. And the rebound is picked up by Odessa and cleared down the ice. Townsend takes it at his own blue line. Subri gets a stick to this one. That negates the icing. Nice play there by the Winnipeg native as we have played 5.5 minutes in this third period. Wildcats lead is now 5-3. They were up 3-0 at one point, as this is Christian Hausinger waiting for teammates to get back to the blue line so he can walk in on side. Baum picked his pocket nicely there, and it's worked up the wall. Bolio skates onto it in stride, walking towards the right wing circle. He'll put on the brakes of the half wall. Bolio spins it down the wall. First to it there. Litviak had it run over his blade, as Staub on this left wing side will shovel it back down. It was blocked away, however. Bolio and Litviak coming along to support. Here's Litviak and Bolio trading places. Bolio trying to protect the puck. Got it behind. Staub in front. Litviak shot, and he hammered it up high, and it goes away to the far side wall. Chernyuk to Bolio. Bolio has some trouble with it there as now he's pressed into the wall on the far side half wall. Litviak comes along to support. Here's Litviak. Here's Staub, and canceling him out there nicely was Drew Holcomb. Clear down the ice. Chernyuk having to hustle along here as putting him under pressure was Zek. Chernyuk rolls it along the back wall. Kosmeski skates onto this one in stride as a man coming, and he'll chip this one up the ice. The pass was intercepted by Brown as he was trying to find Lazarus, as Kosmeski will push this one forward once more. Feeds the middle. Here's Oakley walking in. Oakley, drop pass. Kosmeski, shot, save, rebound, and it's knocked away from danger there. Getting back up the ice, here's McKellar. McKellar gains his own towards the net, wide of the cage there. Spilling, were a couple of guys, and the net is off its moorings as Kosmeski and Zek tangled up as they were coming back down the middle. 13:03 remaining in this third. The Wildcats now leading 5-3. Farmer gets credit for the power play goal. He also assists on Sherazin's goal. Sherazin's goal, his team leading 22nd of the season. Cook getting 2 assists, one on the Farmer goal, one on the Sherazin goal. As Matt is now up to 45 points on the year. Continuing to further his own record for points in a single season by a Wildcats defenseman. Up to the blue line, slap shot deflecting around, loose puck, Shaw makes a save. Wow. It was loose on the right side of Austin Shaw, and he tumbled onto his side and was able to seal off the right post. I think that was Hoffman waiting for the loose puck that never came. 12:54 remaining in the third. Wildcats lead by 2. Ben Horner with you on FastHockey.com and the Wildcats Broadcast Network. As off the faceoff, this is Reisinger in his own zone. Penalty upcoming here. It's against the Wildcats. It's going to be against Jeff Baum. So, Baum will take his second penalty of the night. He took a hooking call in the second period. He'll take a interference call in the third here as the Jackalopes, 1 for 3 on the man advantage, get their 4th power play of the night. That sends the Wildcats to the Gilmore's Collision Center penalty kill, as the faceoff will be to the left of Austin Shaw with Cook, Knight, Staub, and Bolio out there in the black sweaters. Faceoff is controlled here by the Wildcats. Cam Knight pitchforks this one all the way down the ice. This will trickle towards the cage of Creel, who plays this one up ahead. Wheeling back to grab it, and now looking to turn up the ice here is Nick Keck. Rather, this is Corrali. Corrali, drop pass here, as skating onto this one and bringing it up the ice are the Jackalopes. Here's Watson Enbach, fed towards the middle, they score! 5-4 now. Once again, the Wildcats penalty kill is not up to snuff. As Dakota Menslot scoring in close after Watson Enbach was allowed to walk all the way in. Not really a whole lot that Shaw could do about that one. And the Wildcats still with work to do. Like every game Watson Enbach plays against the Wildcats, he makes a play, either skating into the offensive zone to set a player up, skating across, and scoring. It seems like Watson Enbach has really found a second gear in his second season here in Odessa. So 5-4 with 12:29 remaining in the third, as the Wildcats are burned once more on the Gilmore's Collision Center penalty kill. Hausinger off the face-off looks to start this one up the ice, as the Wildcats 1 for 3 on the man advantage. Odessa now 2 for 4 on the man advantage. This is Christian Hausinger dropping it back to McLean and getting it back. Christian Hausinger gets to the red line and plays this one in deep. Now we'll see if the Jackalopes come with another surge, as you would expect them to. Farmer, look out here, turned over, quick shot blocked in front there. Chernyuk helped it along its way as the Wildcats are able to clear the zone. Served right back in, however, Kosmeski gloves this one down in the neutral zone. Clearing on it a late offside are the Jackalopes as it's on the stick of Men's Lodge. Check that. Played in deep there. First to it was Shane Kosmeski. Rolled around. Chernyuk has some trouble with it there, as this is Kosmeski, or rather Sherazin, getting it, having some trouble with it. Finally, the Wildcats send it down the ice, but this is going to be icing. 11:36 remaining in the third period. Bit sloppy out of their own zone by the Wildcats there, as Chernyuk and Sherazin were not able to work the puck cleanly out of the zone. So they'll have to deal with a defensive zone draw after the icing. Wildcats are going to take their time out, and no surprise there. They have tired legs, number one, and after taking a 5-3 lead, once again the Jackalopes come with pressure, and once again the Wildcats concede a goal and let the Jackalopes back in it. This time again it was on the power play. So the goal is Rasmus Watson, or Dakota Men's Lodge, from Rasmus Watson Enbach and Zach Zeck at 7:30 of this third period. 5-4 the score. Ben Horner with you on FastHockey.com and the Wildcats Broadcast Network. As Enbach now has a goal and an assist tonight. If you're just joining us, seemed like the Wildcats were going to have this one under control. It was 3-0 on goals from Bolio and Oakley in the first, then Reisinger in the second. 2 goals from Watson Enbach and McKellar in the second period made it 3-2. Christian Hausinger tied it up just a minute 40 into the third before Nick Farmer made it 4-3, 2:16 of the third period. Kevin Sherazin made it 5-3 at 4:52 from Nick Farmer and Cook. 5-3 before Dakota Men's Lodge scored on the power play to give the Jackalopes life anew. Colin Staub will take the draw here. One back to the point. Look out. Here's Warhane stepping in. Shot juggled in front there. Shaw can't reach the loose puck, loses his goalie stick in the process, as Litviak will spin behind his own net. Townsend picks up the stick of Shaw and got it along to him here, as the Wildcats are able to play this one down the ice. No icing here, as Staub puts Werhane under some pressure. Rather, that was Men's Lodge. Bolio in on the forecheck there, dispossessed, as this is Odessa trying to take this one away. Watson Enbach was able to take this pass just ahead of Staub. Watson Enbach walking in, shot flashes wide to the right-hand post. I don't know if Shaw had that one covered or not, but it went wide anyway. Hoffman, delayed offside. He'll wait for Watson Enbach to get back to the blue line and play in deep. Off the glass, Townsend along for Litviak now. Litviak under some pressure here as holding the zone. This is Kenny Hausinger. Litviak takes his man off it, but Corey Hoffman comes along with it. Townsend loses out as he worked it up the wall. Bodies tumbling down to the ice. Finally, Bolio is able to chip this one, but it's off the body of someone in the Wildcats bench area. And the Wildcats will have to deal with a defensive zone draw. 10:39 remaining in the third, and the Cats trying to settle things in their own zone right now. Odessa coming into tonight's contest 126-3 when trailing after 2 periods of play. Trying to make that 226-3 here this evening, and giving the Wildcats everything they can handle. And then some right now anyway. Here's Corrali, steered wide there by Shaw on the stick. He ramped it to the glass. Baranek first to it on this near side wall. Corrali plays it back down. Intercepted partially there, but Falconer will get this one. Floats it off the back wall. Cook hustling along to meet it there, jabbed away as it was served back behind, and Cam Knight will move it along for Lazarus. Lazarus touched into some space. Falconer moves it forward for Oakley to gain the zone. Here's Oakley, top of the right circle, shot off the shoulder there of Creel and goes away to the left wing side. Lazarus first to it there. He'll touch it towards the middle. Here's Falconer, pass didn't get to him as Hampus Shodall starts things forward and gives to Corrali. Corrali trying to walk past Mount Cook. Cook took a penalty, or took a stick up high. This is going to be a penalty against the Jacks, as we'll get the whistle here. It'll be a high sticking or a roughing. As Corrali, it'll be a roughing call. Corrali caught Cook up around the mouth, as the Cats will head to the power play with 9:57 remaining in the third. Cats are 1 for 3 on the man advantage tonight. That's not been the problem. Gilmore's Collision Center penalty kill has led Odessa back into the game with 2 power play goals. Corrali sits 2 minutes for roughing as the Wildcats head to their 4th man advantage of the evening. The Wildcats now are 48 for 180 on the man advantage this year. 26%. Check that. That's going to be a double minor, as they say that Corrali drew blood on Matt Cook. So the Wildcats will get 4 minutes to work with on the man advantage. 9:57 remaining in the third. Whereas if the Wildcats score in the first 2 minutes, they would still have the second 2 minutes to work with as well. Faceoff will be to the right of Creel. Looks like it'll be Knight, Townsend, Apap, Bolio, and Staub, as both coaches are getting the explanation from Corey Denbach, the referee. Off the faceoff, Bolio holds and plays down the wall for Cam Knight. Staub will give chase in the corner. Here's Staub protecting, now to the top of the right wing circle. Townsend wheels it back to the blue line. Here is Knight. Now Bolio walking in, down for Staub, and he went to center, and it skipped over his blade. Quick shot, ramps up off the stick there from Townsend from the right face-off circle. Bolio trying to corral the rebound here. He hauled his man down, and that's going to be a penalty. So we'll skate 4-on-4 for the next 2 minutes. It'll be a hooking call against Austin Bolio. With 9:33 remaining in the third, we'll skate 4-on-4. A lot of open ice for teams with a lot of skill and a lot of offensive ability to work with. Face-off will be the left of Austin Shaw. Farmer will take the draw as we skate 4-on-4. Farmer, Cook, Townsend, and Sheridan out there. Countering for Odessa are McLean, Christian Hausinger, Hoffman, and Matt Baranek. Face-off is scrummed for. Farmer works it forward. Townsend can't work it free. Jab towards the corner there, but Farmer will be the first to it. Hammers it down the ice. Skipped over the stick of McLean. Not sure what Farmer was doing there. It would have been an icing against the Wildcats, but it hits the stick. That negates it, and we'll play on. Farmer takes us in the neutral zone here, takes it away, and gives it to Sheridan. Sheridan touches it along, loses out. Farmer trying to dig it loose and play forward once more. Just outside of the defensive zone of the Jackalopes, it's taken here by Shodall. Moves it along for McLean. He'll step to the red line and play in deep. First to it here will be Matt Cook. Runs it around the wall as Sheridan will reach this one. Tries to jab it past Hausinger and didn't do it. Christian Hausinger walking down the wall and plays it down the wall. Behind the net it goes. Townsend takes Shodall off the puck. Townsend upended from his knees, plays it along for Matt Cook. Here's Cook with 8:45 remaining in the third. Cook getting to the red line here, slows things up as he'll chip this towards the corner and pursue as Hausinger wasn't able to get there first. That's Christian trying to dig it loose and doing so. Here's Oakley. A minute remaining of the 4-on-4 time. Then the Wildcats will be back to the power play. Oakley fed towards the front of the net here. Now look out. The Wildcats might get caught. Headman pass. This is Derek Brown trying to get around Lazarus. Nice sweep check there by Lazarus. As starting up the ice, here's Evan Oakley. Oakley skating 1-on-2. He'll take this one wide. Tries to turn the corner on Soji. Hook towards the middle. There's nobody there. Cam Knight, wasn't able to hold in. Wanting this one is Albrecht. Instead, it's dropped back for Baum to give along to Albrecht again. Albrecht has some trouble with it in front of the bench area. Serves back to this near side as Baum races along and plays it farther. Albrecht jabs past and then leaps over Derek Brown. Albrecht still with it. Tries to play towards the front of the net there, but someone got a body in the way. That was Soji. Pitched high up into the air here. This is Kosmeski gloving it down. He'll throw it up ice and skate onto it. Kosmeski towards the middle. Albrecht left it behind here. Loose puck taken away to this left wing wall. Here's Kosmeski. 10 seconds remaining in the 4-on-4 time. Albrecht below the goal line now. Kosmeski camped out in front. Albrecht goes to the corner with it. Up to the blue blue line and Cam Knight. Stop at the left point. Knight instead plays it towards the corner. Wildcats are on the power play for the next minute 35 as Bolio is out of the box. Soji can't clear. Kosmeski teeing up Bolio. Loading shots and it just wide of the cage. Hustling to meet it there on the far side. It's Staub. He'll turn up to the top of the zone. Here is Staub. Now Bolio. Cam Knight wants it. Bolio walks in and now gives to Staub in the left wing corner. Here is Staub. Cuts in front. He's still Staub. Left it for Bolio at the goal line now. Bolio walking in. Shot scores! Oh my goodness. He picked the top corner. Short side. Top shelf where Mama hides the cookies. And it's 6-4. The Wildcats take the lead. Another power play goal. Bolio wheeled out from the corner. Somehow found room above Creel. That makes it 6-4 with 7:09 remaining. 7:09 remaining in the third. The Wildcats' 2-goal lead has been restored, but for how long? Off the face-off, this is held here, or this is controlled by the Jackalopes as McLean banks this one up the ice. Baranek hacked it along there. Subri disrupted play momentarily as that allows Townsend to move this one along to Baum. Off the stick of Christian Hausinger in the neutral zone, trying to hold play up there where the Wildcats as Townsend, smart little jab along there. This will not be icing, however, as he'll chase this one back. Baum steps away from the forechecking Eric Carreras. Fighting through the check here is Townsend. Subri left it behind there, but he was able to lunge out into his belly and jab it to the corner. That negated the danger momentarily. Townsend ramps this one up the glass. Falconer was able to work this into the neutral zone. Christian Hausinger pens this one right back in as Townsend picks it up on a delayed offside. Townsend gets past his man, looks to play towards the middle, towards the front of the net, softly there. Reisinger trying to take this one away behind the net. Sheridan getting involved below, on the far side half wall as we tick down towards the last 6 minutes in this third period. This is Christian Hausinger. Hooked it along there, hoping for a teammate. Nice protect, worked it along. Here is Hoffman. He'll take it wide towards the net, deflecting around there, and it's taken away to the corner by Kenny Hausinger. Hausinger through the middle into the skates of Townsend. Off the glass, that one goes. It'll come up well short of icing as the Cats will work a change. Rally. Now it's Werhane. Intercepted in the neutral zone here. Farmer left it behind, however. Apap jabs it off the stick of Hoffman, and it's picked up by Werhane in front of his own bench area. Rasmus walks in Enbach through the middle of the ice. Kenny Hausinger settles and moves it along for Hoffman back towards the middle of the ice. Intercepted here by Cherniak. Stick handles, left it behind, however, as Hoffman chips down low. Here's Hausinger, and he couldn't settle the bouncing puck. It got lost in his skates. To the blue line, though. Werhane still holds towards the net off the body of Farmer. He'll pick this one up and look up ice. Farmer to the red line, rattles this one off the glass. The Wildcats need to be a bit more sure about their clearances as we hit the last 5 minutes and 7 seconds of the third period. Down the ice this goes. This will be an icing here. Wildcats lead 6-4 with 5:03 remaining in this period. Polio, his second of the night from Colin Staub at 12:54. To make it 6-4 Wildcats. Step there, played it towards the middle of the ice. Staub had some trouble with it here as trying to streak away. Nice play there by Knight to lunge down to the ice and get his stick in front of that pass for Kenny Hausinger. As a result, here's Matt Cook. He'll race up the ice through the neutral zone. Nice skate here by Cook. He'll skate all the way around. Loses the puck in the corner, however. That was Christian Hausinger digging it loose as Derek Brown steps free and plays it along for a teammate. In his own zone, this is picked up by Zek. Zek, he'll get it back from a teammate here, get to the red line and play in deep. Punched along there by Cam Knight. Look out here, turned over, sent towards the front of the cage there, ramped up off the left leg of Austin Shaw. Litviak rolled it into the neutral zone, only as far as Christian Hausinger with 4:20 remaining in this third period, and the Wildcats leading by a pair. Bolio trying to step in front of Derek Brown. This is Colin Staub in the battle as well, as Cook will protect and serve off to the far side wall. Litviak chips this one farther down the ice into the neutral zone at skates. The Wildcats are going to have to be quick if they're going to change. Here's Christian Hausinger trying to get around Knight, and he left the puck behind here as Falconer, fresh from the bench, will move this one forward. He'll gain the red line. Falconer puts on the brakes, looks to feed it towards the corner, has some trouble with it there as picking his pocket. This is McKellar. Lazarus gets it back, however. Here is Lazarus. He'll spin it toward the corner as well. 3:45 remaining in this third. Wildcats are leading 6-4, but Odessa can strike quick. We've seen it happen tonight. Here is McKellar. He'll play this one wide of the cage of Shaw to the right wing corner there. Lazarus thrown down to the ice by Watson Enbach. No matter as Jeff Baum has it for Wichita Falls. Here is Baum. Ben Horner with you on FastHockey.com. Look out, Baum left it behind. Christian Hausinger saw this one run away from here as Townsend will take it away. Almost dangerous there from Baum as he got caught on the wrong side of the puck, but no harm, no foul. Great skate here by Townsend into the zone. Toe drag, here's Townsend, and a good poke check there by Dakota Menslodge to force him to the wall. Dubry tied up there in the corner, but not before he worked it along to a teammate. Albrecht getting involved there, fresh from the bench on the forecheck in the final 3 minutes of this period. Look out here. Chernyuk stepped back onto the bench to negate it too many men, as this is Shaw having some trouble with it here. It's played towards the corner. Fend on there by Hoffman. Shodal tries to glove it down, but it went out of play. They'll move this one into the neutral zone, it looks like. 2:53 remaining in the third. 6-4 the score in favor of the Wildcats. 5 goals in this third period. 2 for Odessa, 3 for Wichita Falls. Christian Hausinger made it 3-3, a minute 40 in. Nick Farmer, then Kevin Sherazin scored to make it 5-3. Dakota Menslodge made it 5-4 at 7:30 with a power play goal before the Wildcats regained their 2-goal edge on a power play goal from Austin Bolio, his second of the night, wheeling out of the corner short side. No icing here in the last 2:40 of the third period. Wildcats still holding on to their 2-goal lead. Rushing forward, though, here are the Jackalopes. This is Hoffman dropping it off to a man in front towards the back door. It was intercepted there by the skate of Matt Cook. Cook has some traffic in front, so he'll just loft this one down the ice. It'll go for icing here with 2:25 remaining in the third. The difference maker in the game right now, Corrali's high-sticking double minor after Austin Bolio then took a hooking minor. It should have been 4-on-4, but after that 4-on-4 elapsed, the Wildcats went back on the power play for the balance of that 4-minute double minor. That made it 6-4 as winning this draw are the Wildcats. This is Farmer. His pass was gloved down. Oh, that's a generous call for the Wildcats. I don't think that puck ever escaped outside the blue line. The Wildcats certainly won't complain as the neutral zone faceoff will ensue. 2:17 remaining in this third period. Shots on goal in the contest, 36-29 in favor of the Wildcats. Colin Saab floating across ice. Here's Chernyuk, backhander blocked in front. Bolio following up on a hat trick. Save there, then they score. Litviak, his 10th tally of the season, his 6th against the Jackalopes. That makes it 7-4 with 2:03 remaining. Bolio followed up the loose puck after Chernyuk's shot was turned aside. The save was made, but Litviak tapped on the rebound 5-hole, and the Wildcats lead by 3. If they'll pull Creel at any point now that the deficit is 3. Chernyuk will get an assist on that one. The Wildcats are 8-0-0 when Konstantin Chernyuk has a point, looking to make it 9-0-0 now as they lead by 3 in the final 2 minutes of this contest. This is Alex Falconer protecting along the wall. Lazarus getting involved as well. Baranek pulls that one free as helping out was a teammate there in the form of Shodal. Played down the wall into the offensive zone by Odessa. First to it there was Kosmeski as he stepped in front of Carreras. Falconer floats this one into the neutral zone. Needed some help from Oakley there as it was gloved down very easily by Keck. Lazarus will float this one in deep in the final 85 seconds of this third period. The score is now 7-4. Litviak has picked up his 10th goal of the year. As this is a headman pass, Albrecht wasn't able to get a stick to it. It came up short of icing anyway. Against the wall, it clanged in the last 70 seconds of this third period. Albrecht trying to dig this one loose. Instead, it's in the neutral zone for Townsend. Townsend, nice skate here. Townsend once more, got it into the zone for Albrecht. Fanned on here as this is picked up by Zek. Zek to the red line, towards the cage of Shaw. He'll steer this one wide. Derek Brown walled off there, but he'll maintain possession. Big one-timer deflected there, and it goes wide as Zek was trying to direct it home from the back door. This one goes off the glass and into the neutral zone. It's out of play as that was off the glove of Drew Holcomb in front of the Wildcats bench area. Last minute of play in the period brought to you by La Quinta Inns and Suites. 45.4 seconds remaining in the frame. Townsend off the faceoff, pulling it back to Baum. Baum's softly off the glass in the last 37 seconds of this third period. This is Reese Phelps. Plays up the wall, hoping for McKellar. McKellar floats this one cross ice as to the left wing corner. Townsend will race over to meet it. Farmer there as well, touched into some space. Here's Apap. He'll protect as Sherazin skates ahead to open up some ice. Apap over the red line, plays in deep in the last 20 of the period. 16 seconds remaining. The Wildcats are leading 7-4 here at the Ector County Coliseum as Cam Knight takes it into his own zone in the last 10 seconds. Kosmeski, little shoulder twitch there and then moves it along for Knight with 5 seconds remaining. Knight softly down the ice, intercepted here as now Knight watches the seconds tick away, and there's the horn. The Wildcats had a 3-0 lead disappear on them. They were up 5-3, then it was 5-4, but they'll skate away with the 7-4 win here tonight at the Ector County Coliseum. We'll step aside briefly. When we come back, we'll put the wrap on this one here from Odessa, Texas. Wildcats Hockey presented by Armored Roofing will conclude just after this on FastHockey.com and the Wildcats Broadcast Network. Back here at the Ector County Coliseum, Ben Warner with you, Wildcats fans. We're putting the wrap on a 7-4 win for the Wildcats as they use one of their 3 games in hand and pick up a win to move 2 points closer to the Lone Star Brahmas and the Topeka Roadrunners at the top of the South Division. We'll break down the standings in just a moment. First, let's get you the scoring summary here, and with 11 goals between the two teams, this one might take a while, so go and pour yourself a cup of coffee. The Wildcats got things going. They scored 3 unanswered in the first period and a half or so, starting with Austin Bolio, 9:21 into the first frame. The Wildcats outshot Odessa 20-7 in the opening frame, and despite that, and despite long spells of time in the offensive zone, interestingly, both goals came in transition for the Wildcats in that opening frame. First, it was Austin Bolio chasing down a loose puck from his own blue line all the way down to the end of the ice. He picked it up just short of the icing line, slammed on the brakes, toe dragged around a back checker, and then snapped it inside the post to make it 1-0 on his 20th of the year. Bolio was just getting started, though. We'll hear more from him in just a moment. Then, about 2 minutes later, Evan Oakley picked up his 12th tally of the season, as once more it was a goal in transition for the Wildcats. Oakley took a pass from Kevin Sherazin to free the defensive zone. Skating through the neutral zone, Oakley, realizing he only had one man in front of him, gained the blue line, hammered a shot off the left pad of Robin Johansson, but the rebound was steered wide, but it was steered into a juicy area for Oakley. He beat his man to the puck, stepped into a one-timer, and blasted it on cage, and it just snuck through the body of Robin Johansson, who was relieved after that. Wildcats made it 3-0 in the second period, 5:18 into that stanza as a neutral zone turnover by Jeff Baum as he was falling to the ice, or rather I should say Baum created the turnover as he was falling to the ice, spiked it onto the stick of Lazarus. Lazarus gained the zone, dropped it for Reisinger at the top of the right wing circle, and then drove to the net to open up some space to shoot for Max. With a screen in front, Reisinger settled, picked his spot, and sent a fluttering little wrist shot into the top left corner. That made it 3-0. If the Wildcats thought they were going to be home and dry after that, they didn't learn from the first 7 games of this season series, however. Of course, that was no harm, no foul at the end of the day, but they certainly were a little bit nervous for some moments there. Rasmus Watson-Enbach pulled one back for Odessa, 8:06 into the second period, and a big blast from above the left faceoff circle, a one-timer on the power play as he rang the iron and went bar down, did Watson-Enbach. Then Ryan McKellar cleaned up a loose puck after Zach Seck's initial shot to make it 3-2 heading into the third period. Committed 40 into the frame. Christian Hausinger scored to make it 3-3 after he walked in from the right wing wall and found some traffic through Shaw, who was screened. There was a bunch of bodies in front that no one was able to clean out. That made it 3-3. The Wildcats responded immediately after, though, thanks to a boarding call by Nate Werheen that sent the Wildcats to the power play. There, Nick Farmer was able to tap it home to make it to make it 4-3 Wildcats. Kevin Sherizan then made it 5-3 Wildcats at 4:52 of the third period. Before Dakota Men's Lodge pulled one back for Odessa once more to make it 5-4. Again, it was a power play tally. Again, Rasmus Waxenenbach was involved in it as he raced through some traffic and set up Men's Lodge on the back door, crashing the left side of Austin Shaw's cage as Men's Lodge was able to put it home past the Highlands Ranch, Colorado native. By the way, for Men's Lodge, that is his second goal and sixth point in 6 games for the Odessa Jackalopes since being acquired from the Johnstown Tomahawks. The Wildcats, though, would expand their lead and win this one going away in comfortable style as Austin Bolio picked up his second of the night on a power play tally. He wheeled out from the corner and somehow from below the face-off circle sniped the top shelf over the right shoulder of Tanner Creel, who was really left stranded there. Not much he could do on that shot. Austin Bolio showing why he has one of the most accurate shots in the league on that one. That made it 6-4 and gave the Wildcats some breathing room before Nikita Litviak would clean up a Bolio rebound inside the last 3 minutes of the contest. Litviak making it 7-4 on his 10th of the season. The big man with the plan on offense tonight for the Wildcats. He has a game-high 3 points, tied with Zach Seck's 3 assists. The Wildcats have 5 skaters post multiple points tonight as they win this one 7-4. Getting the win tonight, Austin Shaw. He makes 25 saves on 29 shots on goal. He improves to 22, 7, and 1. Getting the loss tonight will be Tanner Creel. Made 18 saves on 23 shots. Creel on the season is now 2-15. Wichita Falls is now 34-13-2. They are 13-8-1 on the road. They are 31-12-2 in the South Division. With the loss, Odessa now 9-35-7. They are 6-13-4 at home and are 8-33-7 in the division. One final check on the out-of-town scoreboard right now. It is 7-3 Rio Grande Valley over the Corpus Christi Ice Rays. Looks like the Killer Bees are going to win this one going away. What all that means is that the Wildcats will have an 11-point advantage on the Ice Rays between third and fourth. But more importantly, if you're a Wildcats fan, the Cats are now just 3 points back of the Lone Star Brahmas with 2 games in hand. That's step one for the Wildcats in trying to claim one of those byes in the South Division playoffs. You got to win your games in hand, and this is step one for the Wildcats as they'll skate away with the 2 points here tonight. Reminder, the Wildcats are back at the KYC this weekend. It's an action-packed weekend. Last weekend of the regular season, just 3 home games remaining for Wichita Falls. Friday, we get things going with the Wildcats Pride Booster Club Player Poster Auction. This is one of the most fun events we do all season long, as the Booster Club puts in a lot of hard work all season long to support our team, and this is one of the ways that they raise funds. These posters are brilliant, folks. If you're going to be at the arena, I encourage you to stop by the Wildcats Pride Booster Club table behind Section 29 in the concourse and bid on your favorite Wildcat. On Saturday, the weekend of auction continues as the Wildcats will host their annual jersey auction. Now, reminder, in years past, fans have been able to walk out of the arena with the jersey in hand that night. Obviously, that will not be the case this year as the Wildcats have plenty more games to play following Saturday's contest. Also on Saturday, it's Team Poster Night. The first 750 fans in attendance will receive a 2014-15 Wildcats team poster courtesy of Suddenlink Media. And then don't forget, mark your calendars for Wednesday, March 11th, when the Wildcats host Fan Appreciation Night. All tickets are free by going to the KYC box office beginning tomorrow, Wednesday, March 3rd. That'll do it for us here from the Ector County Coliseum. I'm Ben Horner saying thank you so much for joining us on this edition of Wildcats Hockey presented by Armored Roofing. From all of us here in Wichita Falls, have a good night, everybody, and take care.